the rest of the landscape. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Jason Blitz.
This is Ryan Tannehill. You're listening to San Antonio Sports Leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
KCDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Welcome aboard on a fabulous Thursday afternoon. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, both comfortably ensconced in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Mobile Studios, up on blocks for the foreseeable future. In the studio, in James Pledger's stead, we have Mr. Dan Cialana, Bain to those who know him well. Welcome aboard. We got a lot to talk about today, man. Fantastic basketball evening last night. Record set, a new hero. That poor guy.
Fighters rolling through your head all day.
Born to it.
Yeah,
it has been. It has been the topic of conversation. The hero that was the hero. It was a phenomenal performance. Phenomenal. He went up there with Magic Johnson. That's been the comparison. Up there with Magic and 47 or whatever he got playing Kareem's spot.
Yeah,
when it was going on, did you feel that?
You know what? And maybe it's just because he's wearing a Miami Heat uniform. I never thought Magic, but Tyler Hero is Ray Allen to me. Watching his game and the way he was doing it, knocking down those shots. I mean, he just, he just feels more like a Ray Allen to me than Magic. I mean,
I'll tell you.
Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, let's not
get carried away. I hate to put Ray Allen on him because I hate that dude. You know what I mean?
Give the man some credit. I'll give him that, whether I personally appreciate his presence or not. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. I don't know yet. I do know this. Spoelstra is coaching the pants off Brad Stevens. The Miami Heat are playing smarter basketball on both sides of the court than the Celtics. I mean, but for Jason Tatum's heroics in the second half, what else was there? Did you see anything yesterday? I mean, did Jaylen Brown, was he a participant or was he a player? Kemba Walker, were you participating or were you playing? There was no one there. And I think a lot of it was X's and O's. And I think a lot of it was, Jason, you talked about it yesterday. That long delay kind of let some of the air out of the Celtics balloon. You could tell they were flat.
There was nothing there. And, hard to quantify the emotions in the bubble. But watching Van Pelt last night, and I the ESPN bubble reporter, she's 25, who got choked up, talked about just that, after the Breonna Taylor decision yesterday, what the mood was like in the bubble. And I don't know what kind of carryover that had into a basketball game, if that had any effect on Boston or not. But when you listen to everybody, I mean, certainly. While most people said they weren't surprised with the outcome, they were disappointed with the outcome. But at the same time, I do think they had no momentum carryover from the other game because it was too long of a layoff. And quite frankly, I still don't understand why they had such a long layoff. But I will give Boston a lot of credit because they were getting the pants blown out, and then they were able to come back. And you just mentioned Spoelstra. He coached his ass off in the final 5 minutes of that game to get his team to a win when it looked like Boston was going to rally back and get that win. It looked like they were pulling a Denver Nugget playbook, and Spoelstra coached his butt off and got them that victory. And then, of course, he had Tyler Hero being exactly that. So, Boston was sluggish at the beginning. In a lot of ways.
29 second half points from Tatum. I mean, they went from 0 to 100 with Tatum. And but for him, it would have been a smoke job. It would have been over early.
Well, and everything does come back to the Dallas Cowboys. And the big topic today on NFL Live was the slow starts for the Dallas Cowboys and the second halves that they were playing. And in a lot of ways, the Celtics yesterday looked like the Cowboys in the first half against Atlanta and the Cowboys in the second half against Atlanta. They just didn't get the benefit of an incredible onside kick and a brain fart from the other team. And that goes back to Eric Spoelstra. Everything that he drew up late in that game worked.
Absolutely.
And they knocked down the shots. The only thing that I wasn't sure of at the end, Jimmy Butler, man, why hit that free throw and give them an opportunity? You know what? I missed that shot. That by the time you scramble for the rebound, the game is over.
Well, it's one of those 6-1. You never know.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a lot about that. We'll also talk a lot of Dallas Cowboys. RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys will join us at 4:30. Yesterday we were talking about our defense, and I, presumptuous football genius that I am, said, if I'm McCarthy and I'm game planning for this and I'm looking at the sieve that my defense appears to be by the eye, but the numbers tell you they're not quite as bad as it is, that maybe the best thing for me is to use that Zeke Elliott in every possible way to grind out a win. Let's go boring. Let's let them know we're running on first and second down. Let's run this clock. Let's hold the ball. Let's drive on a weaker than normal Seattle defensive line. Let's move the ball down the field on the ground and grind some clock. Well, McCarthy on Pro Football Talk said, no, that's not my plan at all. This is not what you do against a team like Seattle. We score as fast and as often as possible.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
I read the wrong manual, but we're going to talk a lot about that with RJ Ochoa. And
analytics, man.
Yeah, that's starting to really annoy me. Me and Daryl Morey both.
Not as much as it annoys Mike McCarthy.
Evidently. Robert Kraft, we're going to give you a headline that's appropriate. Robert Kraft, it's good to be a rich man. It's good to be a rich man and able to get your way out of embarrassing situations, of which we all knew you did. You can expunge your record, but you cannot expunge my memory of a shower table somewhere down in Coral Gables, Florida. But news on the Robert Kraft front, looks like all the charges have been dropped. Overzealous cops again seems to be on part of that. What's on tap's going on again today? It's Thursday. The weekend spreads out front and about us. So here's what you do. If you got something going on, whatever it might be, you can jump on the Twitters at Jason Minix, at Rob Thompson ESPN, and at 545 Sam's Burger Joint will bring to you what's on tap. We'll let everybody know what's going on in San Antonio. It's always a lot of fun to see what you might not have heard of. That's available to you both outside of your home and inside via the streamings. And it's Thursday. It's Grilling with the Blitz Day. Excited about that, my friend. I had no grilling time last weekend. Spent it on the road. I got some good news via email just a couple of minutes ago. I see big things in my future, Jason. And if you're christening a new grill, I mean, if it's like a new car or a bed, what you're supposed to do, you only do it with the best, right?
I think you should. Well, see, here's the problem. While you might be getting a delivery soon, you
might not be the complete delivery.
You're going to put this yourself together. You're going to try to. I got a new Traeger a couple months ago, and Rob's now getting one, and it's going to arrive maybe this weekend. At least the first part
tomorrow.
Of it.
Something's coming tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but
Rob gave me a bunch of crap because I hired a guy.
I will video myself putting this thing together. Don't worry.
He gave me a bunch of crap because I hired a guy to
I'll do
build
it with parts
my
left over. I'm so good at this.
And when you look at the cost of a grill like that, I ain't gonna mess it up. And I know my limitations. All right, $75. That was well spent. Rob's gonna put his together. So while it might arrive tomorrow, he might not be able to throw any meat on that grill for about 3 weeks.
I'll put it together. Now, whether it works perfectly well, whether it is entirely stable or entirely safe for that matter, I can assure you that the day that it arrives, if I have the time, if it's a Saturday or Sunday, I will be grilling on it. Now, again, I might be taking it apart very soon after and doing it again the right way, but I'll get that thing together. It's amazing what a man can do with a pair of pliers, some gauze pads, 3-in-1 oil, hammer. I can do just about anything.
Think about this. And you know what? Go to ESPNSA.com, load up your grilling pictures. You can win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. But this weekend, and I know we've had some, but it starts this weekend for college football.
Yes,
what are we calling it now? Home gating? Since you can't tailgate in the parking lot, home gating is becoming more of a buzzword. So you think about, Rob, you're going to be grilling while getting ready for an Aggie football game on Saturday night. Or Longhorns playing on tomorrow or Saturday at 2:30. That does change your grilling, because when you're grilling to watch games, you're picking different things. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's fajitas or wings, or, I think you get that new Traeger, you got to start Wagyu brisket, man.
Yeah, that would be that's a bold step for a lot of things. The first time out on a grill, you want to do it right and you want to have it memorable, but it's also your first time on that grill. I don't want to ruin something. And if we're talking about $30 a pound, $29.99, you need to bring out the glory of that meat the correct way. And you want to do it on a tried and true, I don't know, way that you've done it in the past. I don't think I would risk that the first time out.
Go bold, man.
Well, from what I understand,
you're brave enough to put it together. Yeah.
The Traeger's easy to use. It just works. But no, I just won't do that. But it will certainly be christened this weekend. I hope we can do the set it and forget it stuff. No, what's the point of that? And we get back, let's talk some basketball. We got a brand new hero in our midst, Tyler Hero. He of the Miami Heat, 37 points last night. He is still wide open. It wasn't so much the points, it was the exuberance and the expectation. It looked like it was going to happen as it was happening. Let's talk about Tyler Hero, the Miami Heat, as they progress closer and closer to an Eastern Conference final. And we got another game tonight in the West. And AD and LBJ, are they ready? Let's talk about it coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
We were just talking about the going to the website, uploading your photos to win that $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Whether you win the gift card or not, the best meat market in San Antonio is Tri-County. And that great meal starts with great meats, and Tri-County has it. They have carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, and upper choice. Everything you need to up your grilling game: beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. And that Pick 5 for 25 deal. It really is the best deal on meat in San Antonio.
5 for 25. It can be found at both of their locations over on Ralph Fair and over on Huebner Road. Now, this week's specials, you got your sirloin fajitas, $11.99 a pound. So succulent they'll just fall apart in your mouth. And then Aka Ushi, let's say it again, Aka Ushi ribeyes, $19.99 a pound. They got the strip loins as well at $17.99 a pound. The Duroc center cut bone pork chops, those are going to be beautiful, $5.99 a pound. And Wagyu Gold ribeye at $29.99 a pound, and Wagyu Gold strip loins at $27.99 a pound. That's what we're talking about, using to christen a grill worthy of such fine meats that can only be found right over there at Tri-County at Huebner and over on Ralph Fair Road. Or go check out their website, tricountymeat.com.
Right here.
This is Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers, your home for the Texas Rangers baseball. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Brought to you by GPS of Texas, gpsoftexas.com.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 25 years, I've represented people and families seriously injured in car and commercial truck collisions. After a collision, you need to know that insurance companies have trained adjusters and attorneys on staff with one goal in mind: pay as little as possible. How good are the insurance companies? It's fairly easy to figure out. All you need to know is that insurance companies report net profits in the billions of dollars every year. That's net profits. And this year will be no different. If you or your family have been seriously injured in an auto collision, I want you to call me as soon as you can after the collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Your call will be answered anytime, day or night. The phone call and our initial consultation is absolutely free of charge with no obligation. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400, or find me on the web at alawyerforus.com.
Fall is a season that's a little in the middle. It's sort of the best of 2 seasons. It's no longer a sweaty summer, but the winter chill is still around the corner. And that's the perfect time to feed and seed your lawn with Scott's Turf Builder. Even better than spring, because the soil is still warm, but the air is getting cool. So your lawn gets the most nutrients in the best combination of temperatures. Feed and seed now with Scott's Turf Builder and build the best lawn for every season. Scott's, it's good out here.
It's always smart to shop at Diamonds Direct, but right now it's smarter than ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing and no money down on any purchase. No kidding, it's the best offer ever. Keep your money and finance the entire purchase, even the tax, for 5 years without paying a dime in interest. Get a $10,000 certified diamond for only $168 a month. I'm telling you, this makes fine jewelry more affordable than ever. It's definitely the smart way to buy. On approved credit, details at diamondsdirect.com.
Open this Sunday.
Stu Gotts here. What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening, who's able to hear more than what's being said, and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard. For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to talk to an advisor today who's ready to help you with your small business needs. 877-ASK-DELL.
For summer DIY projects, you know the Home Depot's always in your corner. Now with our mobile app, it can also be in the palm of your hand. With digital tools like image search, snap a picture of something. It'll recognize it and serve up product suggestions in seconds. And our product locator will check availability and lead you right to it. The Home Depot mobile app. Download it today to get started. Only from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It is the Blitz, brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Injured in an accident? Call Jason Thompson. Phone number to know, 210-900-0400, or go to alawyer4us.com. Last night, Tyler Hero led the way, the Miami Heats. They basically lead wire to wire, though it got a little tight there in the end. They take down the Celtics to grab a 3-1 lead. It's not insurmountable, as the Denver Nuggets have proven, but they're going to have to, as Traylor told us the other day, you have to bring your own juice. And the Celtics, they didn't show up with the juice boxes last night. They came out flat. Jason Tatum got a little juice at halftime, had an orange slice, had something, got himself going, and had 29 in the second half. But quite frankly, the Celtics looked in disarray. Quite frankly, not the team I expected to see, even though they were forced with a 5-day delay.
Well, and again, I still don't understand the delay, but they can't use that as an excuse because both teams were going through it. Neither team traveled. Neither team had, any issue that you might normally come up with. Your distractions. It's just which team was ready to go and which one wasn't. And I tell you what, none of us saw this coming when the restart happened, and I still think the Lakers win tonight and win this series, but I won't be surprised when we have a Miami-Denver NBA Finals. And how bizarre is that? If we would have talked about that back in July when the restart happened, the only way that we would have had a Denver-Miami NBA Finals would be if LeBron and Kawhi and, how many other superstars would have gotten sick, right?
Right.
They've earned it. But everything that's going on, I still expect the Lakers to win tonight and close out the Nuggets and get to the finals. They can't make the same mistakes that the Clippers did and not be ready for what Denver is capable of in doing. But you look at last night's game, Miami is just the better team. I mean, we talked about that before the series, and that's, they've just been incredible during this run. And last night, Tyler Hero with 37 points, he's been a double-digit guy all along. What was he, 13th, 14th pick in the draft? I forget who I saw on TV earlier, not Cal pumping up his own guy, but or it might have been when I was driving around listening to Greeny. But one of the guys said that this guy's had 2 or 3 years worth of development inside the bubble that he wouldn't have gotten without the bubble. Just his growth before the restart and what he is doing now. And I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but I don't certainly disagree with that either. He's a different player in the bubble than he was prior to.
Yeah, he's good. He's the 13th pick in the draft. I mean, he went to Kentucky. It's not like it wasn't. This guy didn't come from nowhere. This guy is as blue blood as you get in the basketball world. So yeah, he's pretty damn good. But no one expected to see what we saw last night. And I think what we did see, and I think everybody that watched it, I think the same word came to the mind of the pundits and the coaches. It was confidence that not only was he available to take the shot, he was willing to take the shot, and he was told to take the shot, and he took the shot. And to get a rookie to do that in this situation, that's why it's so hard and so far between these kind of events, because there's a Jimmy Butler on this team that's fully capable of doing that. And there's a Bam Adebayo that's fully capable of doing something akin to that, but in a different way. And for Spoelstra, the coach, to go, you know what, guys, not only do my superstars and my budding superstar going to have to take a back seat tonight, you're going to have to watch history. That is a team buy-in. Jimmy Butler's a tough SOB. He's out there working, and he's never been ashamed to speak up if he felt slighted. But last night we heard nothing, because Spoelstra has it ingrained that this is a team that's going places, and to go there, some nights it's going to be you and some nights it ain't. And Jimmy had other jobs last night, and he did them. It's a credit to Spoelstra and what they've done. And I picked up on something this morning on Lebitard that I hadn't really considered. Now, we talk about the potential for the possibility, I should say, of the Heat and the Nuggets in a finals. First of all, that is the NBA's worst nightmare. That is after all this and everything invested, that they end up with two teams where you have to go get a playbook to figure out who's there, quite frankly, even after all this time. And so the worst case scenario is no Lakers, no matter what. It's got to be LeBron. But really, the NBA and silver, you'd think the dream would be Lakers, Celtics. Let's get some nostalgia going and some future at the same time, and let's look at the young stars and let's enjoy this bi-coastal thing where we don't have to worry about travel and all that. Where the Heat are secondary, but Miami Heat fan, they're sitting looking at LeBron James, remembering what he did and what he brought to them, and everything that LeBron was a part of, and the importance that he was to his city, but also remembering him leaving high and dry. I'm going back home. There is a revenge factor in Miami a lot stronger than I thought there was. And I think the Miami Heat are playing to that. Yeah, we want LeBron. Remember what you did and remember how you came and left so fast? Well, guess what? We're back. And you get that feeling from Miami. And I think Spoelstra has struck that little chord. And Riles, the ultimate competitor, is playing that as he's rebuilt this team on the fly after LeBron left. Yeah, that intrigues me as a finals. Let's hope we get it.
And I know you went to go visit the father-in-law. We're out of town last weekend. I don't know if you read Mike Finger's column last weekend. I forget if it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever. But he was like, look at the Miami rebuild. That's the plan the Spurs need to follow. And they didn't have to tank to get there. There were some down years, but, certainly it wasn't devastating. You didn't have to go through the Phoenix Suns route or any of that kind of stuff. The biggest difference is they were able to get a Jimmy Butler.
And
it's
Miami.
It's Miami. So if you need a free agent, you'll be able to get there. But Miami is hope for us Spurs fans that the dark days won't be like an Alaskan winter where there's just never any sunshine. Yeah, you know what I mean? It is, there's the plan. And for Miami to even be in the conference finals. And right now they're a win away from the NBA finals. And quite frankly, and I know I'm drinking the Miami Kool-Aid, I could see them winning it all this year, even if they are going against the Lakers. Just the way that team plays and Eric Spoelstra, that does give hope to Spurs fans, or at least it does to me that, it doesn't have to be god awful for 4 or 5 years before we're competitive again.
Well, you look at who could do things like that. Pat Riley, if they manage to get into the finals, this will be the 6th consecutive decade. And I guess there's no possible way it could have been non-consecutive, but it'll be the 6th decade that Pat Riley will play a role in an NBA finals as either a player or a coach. 6 decades of Pat Riley and success in the NBA. That's a credit, and it's a credit to what he has actually done. We'll talk more about the game last night and the future of the NBA tonight coming up later. But we're RJ Ochoa, Blogging the Boys, is going to join us. We're going to talk analytics in every possible way. It's always good to catch up with RJ. Hang on tight. You're on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners, a great locally owned family-run business by the Townsends. In San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. If your water smells like rotten eggs, earthy, like a wet dog, you have a problem. If your water tastes bad, you got that metallic odd taste, it's bitter, tastes like Rob's swimming pool, you definitely have a problem. Call Alamo Water Softeners at 210-274-6122. Even if you have a well, Rob, they can fix your water. That's what they do. At Alamo Water Softeners, they offer you high-quality, low-cost, low-maintenance water softeners for your home, and you're instantly going to notice the difference on the dishes coming out of the dishwasher. You'll feel the difference on your skin when you get out of the shower, and obviously, you're going to taste the difference. You're going to save money, too. An Alamo Water Softener can double the life of your appliances, and you'll see a 20 to 30% savings on energy used by your water heater. When you call and mention my name, you'll get free basic installation. You'll also get a free reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of select new Alamo Water Softeners. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. They're the kind of company you want to do business with. Great locally owned, family-run business. Your all-in-one water solution. Alamo Water Softeners. 210-274-6122 or alamowatersofteners.com.
Love the Blitz? Well, why not watch along and interact with the guys every weekday from 4 to 7? You can watch the show live every day at ESPNSA.com or on the ESPN San Antonio Facebook and YouTube pages. Just search ESPN San Antonio and subscribe.
This ESPN San Antonio college football update brought to you by Dos Equis, a most interesting beer.
Thomas J. Henry recently recovered $20 million for a back injury in a product liability case. If you were hurt in an accident, we can help. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim today. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
The football season is underway, and you can track the latest news and information at betonline.net. The early season storylines have not disappointed thus far, and betonline.net has odds and lines all the way through the season and even into the playoffs. In Week 3, how will teams react to the rash of injuries that plagued Week 2 rosters? Follow along at betonline.net as the NFL continues its journey to Tampa in February. Always available online or on your mobile device. Check out betonline.net today. Bring the game home at betonline.net.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Jason Minix here for BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. A BSG system is as low as $29.99 a month, and that includes a smart home LCD panel, installation, and monitoring. And you can get the first 6 months with no payments on select packages. Go to bsgtexas.com/radio for more information. bsgtexas.com/radio. BSG is local. They've been in business in San Antonio over 20 years. Call 210-877-1222. Jason Minix here for BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. A BSG system is as low as $29.99 a month, and that includes a smart home LCD panel, installation, and monitoring. And you can get the first 6 months with no payments on select packages. Go to bsgtexas.com/radio for more information. bsgtexas.com/radio. BSG is local. They've been in business in San Antonio over 20 years. Call 210-877-1222.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell and engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
It's a new season, and it's Sport Clips haircuts. All of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
And you be stepping out like a pro.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. Poocha Mania 2020 is just around the corner. We'll touch on it on What's on Tap in just a bit, but I'll tell you, Saturday starting at 11, we're going to celebrate our four-legged friends. It'll be all virtual this year, but we're going to celebrate them just the same. Alamo Water Softeners brings to you Poochomania 2020 live streaming event. It'll be on every one of our platforms. Jason Minix and I are going to play a role in it. Tune in. We'll have fancy tricks, pets dressed up, prizes to be had, fun to be given. It's going to be a good time. 11 to 2 on Saturday. Find us.
What tricks are you going to do?
I've been working with Lola here. Well, we're the best thing we've got down so far is what she does for me is I let her run around. And then when I'm not paying attention, she likes to get under the couch, find things, eat them, and then very quickly throw them back up. Normally on maybe the lightest carpet in the house. So that's our newest trick. We're getting better every week. But
see, that's what you do. If you've got a pair of shoes that you don't want anymore, you show it to Lola, and she's like David Bain and will make it disappear or destroy it.
Dude,
one or the other.
We've made it very clear to her that if you get close to shoes, there is a price to be paid. So right now she's pretty sure.
I don't care if you chew up
will
the couch,
explode.
but stay away from my kicks.
If she right now is pretty sure that if she nears a shoe or touches it with her mouth, it might very well blow up in her face. We have successfully gotten it to where she won't go near a shoe. Hey, let's talk some Dallas Cowboys with one of the best. RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys, joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. RJ, my friend, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, guys. I hope you have some fine things ready for the grill this weekend. I hope you're ready for college football. I hope things feel like fall for you. They're starting to feel that way for me.
Well, you know what? I mean, we're grilling and it's football season. You're right. And knowing that the Cowboys are in phase 2 of the Bird Gauntlet, I believe you do have to do some sort of poultry on the grill for Sunday, don't you?
True.
Yeah, it would be nice if the Bird Gauntlet came to a close on Thanksgiving. I think that would, be poetic in a particular way. But I believe their last Bird game is 7 days after Thanksgiving when they visit Baltimore. I'm a fan. I know that that's hard to believe that I would be a fan of the super quirky thing that is the Bird Gauntlet. But that's a trophy. Put that up there with the Governor's Cup and what. If you pull this off, you got to get something special, like a nest, I think, made out of something.
Well, and again, I mean, just to go with your whole turducken theory there, the fact that they finished the Bird Gauntlet 7 days after Thanksgiving is still within the window of you're eating turkey leftovers, so it still qualifies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that's true. Maybe. If the Cowboys are undefeated on it, if it's possible going into that, because obviously Thanksgiving they host Washington, so you'll know that it's alive and has hope. So I think we should all save like a special plate of turkey for that following Thursday in the event that we can all cheers to the Bird Gauntlet being accomplished.
Or some bacon-wrapped Raven skewers.
Ooh.
If that's your thing, I mean, far be it from me to tell you how to, operate from a dietary standpoint, but I will pass.
All I can say is somebody once told me everything's great wrapped in bacon until somebody wrapped that around Brussels sprouts, and that theory is not true.
Yeah, I like Brussels sprouts, but they have their place, and inside of bacon is definitely not that place.
What are you talking about? Anything's good. What are you talking about? It's its best calling is to be wrapped in bacon. That applies to most things, I believe.
That's it, but that's when you just eat the wrapping and not the sprout.
Well, I mean, if you had to. RJ, as we have, first of all, on your column today in Blogging the Boys, the Cowboys fans are just as confident in the team right now as they were last week. I don't know how to, what's the barometer? What's the break-even point on this? What do you mean as confident as we were last week? I was more confident last week than I am today.
Well, we measure fan confidence with a tool at SB Nation. We call it SB Nation Reacts, and all of our readers get emails every week that asks how confident are you, et cetera. And, we've been doing this now going on 3 years, and I've never seen the results stand still. And I've never seen them, be gradual. They're always right. One sharp move from one direction to the other. And so I think it's just a matter of, and like I write our power rankings every week at the site, and I dropped the Cowboys, which is, it's really strange, in a literal sense following a win, but it was just that kind of win. Like,
Right.
I know a lot of people have compared it, but the Bills win in 07 was kind of the one it felt the most like to me. It's a game you shouldn't have won, but that you think you're lucky stars, you ultimately did.
RJ, when you, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's weird to say that it doesn't move after a win, although it was quirky, but you learned a lot about your team. Rob yesterday's theory was your best defense this week against Seattle is ball control offense. Run the hell out of Zeke and actually win time of possession, which is something they haven't done yet this year. Mike McCarthy said today, no, I want to score as fast as I can, as often as I can. Which theory do you think actually we'll see from the Cowboys on Sunday? Because I know what the coach said, but I've also watched him play against Seattle before, albeit with another team. And I think everybody wants to keep Russell Wilson on the sideline, and you can't do that if you're scoring fast.
Well, with all due respect to my former roommate, Rob Thompson, I couldn't disagree with that logic more. I completely endorse Mike McCarthy's way of thought. It's the more analytically endorsed way of thought.
What?
I mean, from the perspective of what do the Cowboys do best, right? I mean, like when you break it down on its simple, rudimentary, fundamental levels, they
kick.
score. Well,
Fake
that's
punt.
true too, but their strength lies on offense. So why would you weaken that? You're weakening that in a sense, or you're stifling that, and you're hindering that. I mean, the approach that Rob is endorsing, has merit, right? Like it's worked before. It's not
8-minute
completely
drives.
bonkers. However, that is completely altering your moving and your grooving and what you were successful at. And so that, we've talked before about how the Cowboys should lean into being aggressive on defense because they know they have an offense that can go shot for shot with anybody. And that's what I think this is. I think this is a 21-year-old going out on their birthday and line up the shots. Don't be handing me, Keystones or Natty Lights or whatever, because I'm not wasting my time. I'm out here to break some records.
The only problem with that 21-year-old lineup the shots is that's a whole lot of fun for a couple hours, but it ends in misery on a bathroom floor somewhere. And I don't want the Cowboys to be on the bathroom floor on Sunday flying back.
That's true. I mean, but again, I mean, I would rather go out swinging this way. I think to me, playing ball control, I think that's waiting on pitches, and there's merit to that, right? Like that strategy is sound in some ways, and I think it's also opponent dependent. Depends who you're playing and things like that. But I mean, in this particular case, swing away. I mean, the only way to hit home runs is to swing, and I like that methodology.
RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys joining us here on ESPN San Antonio for his weekly injury update. So last I saw, Trayvon Diggs did practice. Is that the case? And D-Law and Tyron Smith did not.
That's correct. And they also listed Chidobe Awuzie as a non-participant in practice, and they haven't officially named him as somebody they put on injured reserve, but the DallasCowboys.com team did release an interview with Stephen Jones where he let it slip that Cheeto was on injured reserve. So it seems like that's the case too, which would theoretically give the Cowboys another roster spot to work with. But they need all the secondary help they can get because, I mean, they need a lot of help everywhere. They're pretty banged up, but as is the rest of the NFL.
Well, and you look at that, I think with what I saw in that video from Stephen Jones, the designation to return, but you're right, they could be able to add something. So it's required by contract. We have to ask about Earl Thomas.
I don't think so. And I think the fact that, the Cowboys secondary is beat up as much as it is and that they're going to Seattle and that they still won't sign Earl Thomas. If there was ever a neon sign screaming, no pun intended because it's the Seahawks, that this was not going to happen, this is it. And I should caution you, shout out to my friend Bobby Belt who first noticed this. It was week 3 of 2018 when the Cowboys went to Seattle and played a safety in Earl Thomas that had previously asked them very loudly and very publicly to trade for him. He would go on to have 2 interceptions against them, including the game winner. So that situation has sort of set itself up again, which is a little bit terrifying, if I'm being honest.
Well, Jamal Adams is certainly ready for Dak Prescott, who hasn't thrown an interception in 6 straight games going back to last year.
That's right. I mean, I think to me, and maybe I've just had too much of the Kool-Aid. Maybe I just went out with the 21-year-olds and I'm feeling too good at 11:30 o'clock, p.m. But to me, this feels, or at least this feels like the opportunity for all of that those trends that we've known for a decade to break. Like, this would be the time, where some of the hype was building and this big matchup was brewing and the stage was being set, and then the Cowboys would go wet the bed, right? I don't know. All of my trust is in the arms and the hands of Dak Prescott, and I believe that he's going to go and deliver. I mean, he did it last week. He almost individually willed them to that victory against the Falcons.
He did. It certainly was an impressive outing. More zeros on the end of that check. RJ Ochoa joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. As we sit today after the miraculous win, you said the temperature of the fandom is positive. When we last spoke a week ago, the term fraud came to mind when we were discussing how McCarthy got the job and his attention to certain parts of coaching, analytics being primary there. How do you stand on McCarthy today after what we saw last weekend?
I think McCarthy. I think McCarthy hit on 18 last week out of desperation. I think he'd lost a lot of money on the night, and so there's obviously strategy to hitting on 18, right? But I think it was a bit of luck, and there was certainly some science and some math that went into it. And I think he hit 21. I think he walked out and cashed out and lived to fight another day. But I do think that this, and I'm glad you guys brought up what he said about, not running the ball and scoring as much as possible, because that is a philosophy, a core philosophy that is supported by analytics. And if he goes out, not to poo-poo your preference, Rob, but if he goes out and plays the way Rob wants him to play, then he is a fraud, because he's just saying all these things, and all those things are nice. But if your actions aren't matching your words and your dispositions, the only thing that Mike McCarthy has done to this point that has been sort of born on the foundation of analytics is going for two when he did, which I thought was also the right call.
And you were wrong about that as well. RJ,
see what I mean?
We know you hate Mike
y'all
McCarthy.
Disagree with the 2-point attempt? Y'all.
No, I agreed with it wholeheartedly, but it had nothing to do with analytics. It meant we got the momentum. We're gonna have to do it eventually. Let's do it.
No,
well,
I'm a believer in make it a one-score game. If they don't win that game and lose by one, that to me, make it a one-score game as quickly as you can. I'm a fan of that. Now, let me ask you, we spent too much time talking about the defense or the offense and the secondary in particular because of injuries. A lot of hype coming in this season about the pass rush with the additions. And I know Gerald McCoy obviously isn't there, but DeMarcus Lawrence, Aldon Smith has been far better than expected, but there's others there that, one thing not to get any pressure on Jared Goff, who got rid of the ball in less than 2 seconds, but Matt Ryan had all day to throw. Should we be a little bit more concerned about the lack of pass rush after 2 weeks? Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you want to go back to the fraud word, their first 2 weeks of performance is fraud worthy. And again, the qualifier I think is fair for everybody that there was no preseason. This is an extremely unique season, et cetera, et cetera. I thought DeMarcus Lawrence played fine in week 1, but he was nowhere to be found in week 2 against Atlanta. Now he did have the knee injury that popped up. Everson Griffin got the sack. That's cool, but I would say, and this is going to sound like an insult to him, but the best Cowboys defensive lineman in 2 weeks in is Tristan Hill. And if that's where you're at, I mean, that's not a good thing. Now, another shout out to a buddy of mine, John Owning, who does work for the Dallas Morning News, has identified the Cowboys as not really rocking, or their edge rushers at least, operating out of their normal 3-point stance. This was something they changed. And Everson Griffin said yesterday that they plan on going back to that. Now, I mean, I've never, rushed against anybody in the NFL, but if they believe that that's a factor, I mean, if the Cowboys blow up Russell Wilson to a high degree on Sunday, it's because of that. But and to your point, Jason, I mean, if they can't, I know this sounds, stupid, but if they can't sack or pressure Russell Wilson, then they really suck. And it's because Russell actually makes sacking him rather easy, or pressuring him, because he holds onto the ball so long trying to make plays. And so if you can't do that against him,
you are really going to struggle against somebody like Jared Goff. I know that does sound weird, but because he specializes in getting the ball out so quickly.
Well, it's the Deshaun Watson theory. He hangs on to the ball too long, so you should be able to get him. There's a reason Russell Wilson has taken so many hits and so many sacks. The other part, though, is you spend a lot of time chasing that guy, and a lot of times you don't catch him, but you do get credit for a pressure in the stat book.
Yeah, and that's where this game can be changed, certainly, and can be flipped. Is if DeMarcus Lawrence and Everson Griffin and Aldon Smith and Tyrone Crawford, whoever you want to throw into that group, if they can show up, because they haven't been. I mean, the offense has kind of lived up to some expectations. Mike McCarthy went for 2, whatever, but the only thing that has no semblance of living up to any sort of hype this season is the pass rush.
Now, given that, RJ, you've talked about something that I think is rather important, because I believe even DeMarcus Lawrence has mentioned the fact that the technique has been almost a problem, that he's not comfortable in the technique that they're asking him to do, and standing in 3-point stance certainly is a very different way to rush. Is Mike Nolan the kind of coach that will adapt his scheme to his players, or is his scheme the scheme and these guys are going to have to do it?
No, I think he's definitely more adaptable, and I think that that's sort of the main objective of the new Cowboys coaching staff. That's why they drafted who they did, because they don't believe in the scheme is the scheme. We're going to draft guys that do what the scheme dictates. I think they do believe in kind of leaning into the strengths of whoever is out there, whoever's playing, whatever the case may be. But that is a bit of a grand perspective. The Cowboys have a new defensive line coach in Jim Tomsula. I mean, Tomsula could be the guy that said, "Oh, you need to operate out of this stance, you need to do this differently, etc." But if that small adjustment, it sounds small, can make a difference, and I think it's something the Cowboys should certainly do, because this game is a big measuring stick game.
RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys here on ESPN San Antonio, as he is every week. Take care of yourself, my friend. Wear a mask. We look forward to talking to you next week. RJ Ochoa.
Sounds good.
Always good to catch up with RJ down in the valley. What's the name of the dog? Bear?
Bear.
What's the name of his Bear? We didn't get a chance to catch up with Bear. Hey, when we come back, Robert Kraft is going to be a free man from here on out. Charges dropped. The headlines write themselves. We'll talk about what it's like to be a rich man in South Florida. Hang on tight. You're on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
And I'm sure those headlines will find their way to T-shirts. And if you need your logo on said T-shirt, get into Sammy's Embroidery Club on San Pedro. He can do that for you. If you need your logo on any gear, if you need logo on masks, Sammy's, that's what he does. Sam has your masks, surgical medical masks, the KN95s, disposable surgical masks that are certified and FDA approved. Sam has cloth masks in a variety of colors and sizes. And of course, you can put your logo on there. That's what he does. Business owners, managers, club leaders, get your logo on masks, shirts, jackets, caps, uniforms. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or go visit the massive showroom on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. All items do come with a warranty, and you work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him 210-824-3900, 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
We're number one on Kate Upton's presets.
Okay, we probably are.
But how awesome would that be?
Yes, I was.
Hi, Kate. San Antonio sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
At Dos Equis, we realize you've missed celebrating quite a few holidays this year. That's why we're proposing a makeup holiday. St. Patrick de Mayo of Independence Day. Sounds very festive. Dos Equis, a most interesting beer. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Copyright 2020.
Do you feel stuck? Are you living in pain? Chronic back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, those aches and pains that just nag you day to day that never really go away, but just kind of keep everything interesting. If you're living in pain, stop. Call my friends over to Rosti. Rosti providers, well, they're experts in resolving those chronic pain and soft tissue injuries like those sprains and pulls that happen in everyday life, but they take care of them in a remarkably short amount of time. If you're like me, I've got lower back problems most of my life. It's an ongoing issue. It's a spine alignment thing. Rosti, when I first met with him, I didn't think they'd be able to help. I'd met with other physicians over the years, and what I found was time. All I needed was time to get over stuff. After my very first Rosti appointment, I walked out there thinking it was 3 months in the future. They took care of the issue. You know why? Because they understand that fixing the problem will alleviate the pain, and they taught me what that problem was. They went in there and they fixed the problem, and the problem went away. Now, I'm not talking about an invasive procedure. I'm not talking about a long-term treatment plan. Certainly not about medication. It's about manipulating your body to fix itself. And I'll tell you what, it works wonderfully well. So if you've got those frozen shoulders or bad hips that just won't get over themselves, call in a Rosti provider. They're all around San Antonio. It's so easy to find. I recommend going to their website. It's Rosti.com. It's spelled very interesting, AIRROSTI.com. You go there, you'll see a list of all the providers around San Antonio. There's too many to list. I promise you there's one very close to you. Or you can just go ahead and make the call right now. The number is 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. When you go to an Rosti provider, you can be assured they're following all the protocols. You'll be absolutely safe. You'll be taken care of, and you'll be like most Rosti patients, probably back in the game in under 4 visits. Give a Rosti a call today. Do not live in pain. Call a Rosti and get yourself taken care of. You know, it's the best thing I've done for myself. You can get yourself back in the game. I know if you call a Rosti, you're going to thank me later.
A great meal starts with great meat. Rob and Jason here for Tri-County Meat Market, the best meat market in San Antonio. It's locally owned and full service. Tri-County has carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, and upper choice.
Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game, from beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. Stock up on their Pick 5 for $25. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner Road, and online at tricountymeat.com.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vic ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance and fuel your life. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
It is the Blitz. Brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Injured in an accident? Call Jason Thompson. 210-900-0400 or go to alawyearforus.com. Well, Robert Kraft remains a free man. Charges have been dropped. The solicitation charge. Whatever went on down there at the massage parlor there down there in South Florida never happened. And if it did, doesn't matter. It is completely taken care of.
Trying to show on our Facebook Live feed the headline in the New York Post.
The New York Post is they're as poetic as always. Robert Kraft likely to get off in Florida massage parlor case. The charges have been dropped by the DA there. That doesn't mean the NFL isn't going to punish, but I get the feeling that everybody just soon this all go away anyway. It's tawdry and awful, and at the end of the day, dude, I think he's been disgraced enough. And really, that's enough. I don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, what do you say? I mean, I'm just glad we never saw the video.
Exactly.
I mean, and you know, if they would have released it, you'd have had to watch. I mean, you couldn't, not turn away, but you don't want to see it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm Robert Kraft what's worse, because I can imagine what actually happened, or maybe there's something that's different, and what my imagination might actually be worse. You know, I had an old friend that was a cop, and there used to be an old saying, sometimes you can beat the rap, but you can never beat the ride. Robert Kraft, I think he's beating the rap, but that ride part applies in a lot of different situations here, but primarily it is he has gotten away and scot-free, quite frankly. This with the embarrassment that is deserving in a situation like this, as the NFL is so desperate to just kind of put this away. But it's amazing how long this has lasted, how long it's gone on. And if they didn't have such overzealous cops, I think they probably would have got him. I really do think that they would have been able to get him.
I mean, the reality is he's getting off here because of a technicality, and that's the it is amazing when you have a good lawyer. If everything isn't done perfectly by the police, your good lawyer can make things go away.
You got to make sure that search warrant delineates exactly what you're looking for. They did not, and Kraft worked his way around it. In the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to talk Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, whether they should pound it, go slow and easy down the lane and 8-9 minute drives that score as fast as possible. We'll look at the defense and around the rest of the NFL. We got us a game tonight, or at least a semblance of one, I guess. Get Jacksonville, Miami. Is Gardner Minshew the next Tony Romo? I've heard that bannered around today. We're going to talk about that as well. And don't forget, John McClain of the Houston Chronicle will join us at 5:15 as we look at the Texans' woes. A lot to talk about in the 5 o'clock hour. You know, Jason, before we head out to break, how long does it take for you to do just a wings on a Traeger? Like if the wings are ready, about a half hour. From beginning to end, how long is that?
I'm sorry?
How long from like when I light the Traeger to the time I can be pulling them off, if I start immediately upon the time that the heat is right? Like I'm not, it's hot, I cook.
Yeah, when it's hot, probably 30, 40 minutes. What I like to do with wings on the Traeger is start them off low at 225 because it's got that cool super smoke feature. So the poultry will absorb that smoke a little bit more early in the cook, and then I fire it up after that. So 10, 15 minutes with the super smoke and go from there.
There you go. At 6 o'clock, we'll talk grilling with the Blitz. Our football menu is full. We got Big 12 football. We got SEC football. We got it all covered. Hang around. You're on the Blitz.
ESPN San Antonio is your home for the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Every week, Mike McCarthy on the Blitz is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Your home for everything Cowboys is ESPN San Antonio. You can catch the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys after every Cowboys game right here on ESPN San Antonio. Every week, Mike McCarthy on the Blitz is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Your home for everything Cowboys is ESPN San Antonio.
Third floor study hall. My dining room table. Homeroom Monday and Tuesday. My living room Wednesday to Friday.
Wherever school happens for you this year, Staples has amazing prices on everything your student needs. This week, get 20% off copies and prints for school. That's 20% off posters, worksheets, schedules, and reports. Shop in-store or pick up curbside. School on, save on. Staples. Visit staples.com/school printing for coupon. In-store only. Exclusions apply. Ends 10/31. Curbside available in most stores.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Fasten your seatbelts, folks. We'll be prepared for takeoff.
Limu, how cool is this? Your first time flying. Oh, I didn't mean... Listen, Limu, you might not be able to fly, but you do something even cooler. You tell strangers that Liberty Mutual customizes their car insurance so they only pay for what they need.
Sir, do you have a certificate for your service bird?
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Everybody's taking advantage of Diamonds Direct's 5-year zero-interest financing offer. In fact, our store hours have been extended to include this Sunday to accommodate the demand. But hurry, this offer ends September 30th. Pick any item. Get the Diamonds Direct amazing value price. Make no down payment and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Whether your purchase is $3,000 or $30,000, you can do this. 5 years, zero interest on approved credit. And remember, we'll be open this Sunday afternoon for your convenience. Get details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
After falling to the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1982 NBA Finals, the 76ers needed to find the right player to build the ultimate winning team. In September of '82, they acquired restricted free agent Moses Malone. They went on to rack up a 65-17 regular season record and followed that up with a 12-1 postseason record. Malone won the regular season and NBA Finals MVP award.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience. So every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Nate Noonan of the Dallas Cowboys. You're listening to 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play.
For everything Cowboys.
KCTC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On the go at ESPNSA.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Mobile Studios, stationed comfortably in our backyards once again. Dan Cialana sitting in for James Pledger. We're going to have John McClain on here in just about 15 minutes of the Houston Chronicle as we look at the Texans. At 5:30, we're going to talk NBA. Great game last night, another one tonight. But before we do, let's talk Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy has come out and talked about his offense moving the ball down the field and scoring as quickly as possible. We had RJ Ochoa on of Blogging the Boys on just a bit ago. You know, as we've talked about this week and the offense and this the extraordinary effort, Dak Prescott, the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And I mean, certainly he was responsible for some 9,000 yards over the week. And, you know, we talk about what Dak did, but we have to go back to what Mike McCarthy talked about what this offense was going to be. When we look at just the offense, Jason, did we see anything different from, you know, we were concerned in game one that it looked a lot like what we'd seen last year. We also heard from Mike McCarthy saying, I'm taking my hands off, but I do know this. We're going to quantify Zeke this year, not so much in carries, but in touches. We talked a lot about the downfield throwing from Dak, but the running game from Zeke, is that going to be consistent enough against Seattle and carrying forward to make sure that Dak is continually able to throw downfield, considering his offensive line is banged up the way that it is?
Well, I mean, you know, going back to the first question, did we see some things differently? And the answer is yes. We saw a lot of Tony Pollard early, and you saw up until he fumbled, you saw a lot of them. But you know, you had Pollard and Zeke in the backfield at the same time. I think that had more to do with concerns with a blocking tight end. So if you have both those guys back there, the defense had to pay attention to both of them. You know, because although, hell, man, you're the best player on offense last week, not named Dak Prescott, was a tight end. And so, I mean, you look at the game that Dalton put together receiving wise, I don't know how well he did blocking, but receiving wise, he was there. So, you know, they'll get creative that way. But, you know, Zeke is a better second half runner. I mean, he bowls people over. The way he ran over that dude in the end zone, you know, he's a violent runner, which is the way to put it, but he likes to wear people down. He needs the touches to get there. And let me rephrase that. He needs the carries to get there. It's nice to get him in space, but he still needs to pound you all game long. But you get, you know, first quarter, it's a 2-yard run. Third quarter, it's 3 yards. Fourth quarter, you're hoping it's 4.5, 5. And that's what Zeke gives you.
It's rather unnerving. And it's also, I'm always curious in the third quarter. I think the difference between what we've seen and what we will see as part of this new offense is how Zeke is used on second and third down. You know, we're so accustomed to first down, we're going to run it, let Zeke get a chance. And if it's a nice pickup, then that'll reflect what we do in second and on and on. I'm very curious how much more often we will see in the 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 7 range that Zeke gets the ball in his hands. Maybe not so much anymore as on a carry, but out in space. And I think that will signify, you know, the McCarthy influence on the Kellen Moore ideas of what the offense should be, because Zeke got touches last week, not to the extent that I think he probably wanted, but he was nearly over 100 yards rushing and over 100 yards certainly in total offense. You start throwing Pollard in there with all those other things, and you're curious, at least I am, all these great plans, but that offensive line, as long as we're concerned about Tyron Smith and the edges, things might have to slow down a bit, and we won't see the full playbook until we can see everybody on that front line protecting Dak.
Well, and I think, part of what you saw last week was Kellen Moore adjusting to the fact that, 3 of his top offensive linemen were not available, and especially 2 of them being Pro Bowlers, and so whatever you saw last week, you'll see more of the same coming this week against Seattle, with obviously some new wrinkles in there, especially if Tyron isn't able to go, because, there's probably a whole bunch of plays that they say, yep, we can't run that one today. Yep, we can't run that one this week. And I think you saw some of that last week, just knowing those offensive linemen weren't there, or your starting tight end, who is a blocking tight end, isn't there. I mean, you've got a big old defensive lineman playing fullback down at the goal line, which is pretty awesome. You don't see that. You don't see that from the Cowboys. And so I do think you'll see some wrinkles there Sunday against the Seahawks that are trying to mask the issues that they do have up front with their offensive line. The fact that Dak threw for what he did, and I do think some of the lack of carries for Zeke is a byproduct that you were down 20 points before the game gets started. And it's funny because I go back to, years of talking to Jason Garrett. Well, the game plan was this, but, all of a sudden, we're down so big, you've got to throw it out the window and throw the ball to catch up kind of thing. So I do look at that and say, how much was the number of carries for Zeke affected by the fact that you were down 3 scores in the first quarter?
A tweet a couple of days ago from John Machota. He tweeted out the Cowboys lead the NFL with 41 offensive plays with 10 or plus yards. The Seahawks have given up a league high 47 plays of 10 plus yards. So I think my idea is kind of going down the wayside with the analytics side of things. It looks like the Cowboys are going to be able to go slug for slug with the Seahawks, and it might actually just come down to who gets the ball last to close this game out. But Jason, you brought it up earlier, and I think this is something that we need to make sure we speak with Mike McCarthy tomorrow, as we do every Friday, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Is, we talked to him about it last week. Starting fast is becoming more and more of an issue. We have to see this team maintain at least a nose instead of falling behind early on, so we can actually see what this offense is supposed to be and protect this defense at the same time. Starting fast is going to be key, especially if you're trying to slug it out with an offensive juggernaut like what Russell Wilson has.
2 games, 2 slow starts for the Dallas Cowboys, and unfortunately, that is a trend that is carried over from 2019 and 2018 from the Garrett era. Starting fast so you can stay within your game plan is key, but I look at last week's game, and we've seen Zeke enough. We've seen Dak enough. They're not fumble guys. Last week's game against Atlanta was similar to the New Orleans game a year ago when Witten fumbled and Zeke fumbled, and Dak's fumble was just stupid on his part. I mean, he's trying to just fling the ball out to the tight end there to avoid the sack. Just take the sack. Not to sound like Jason Garrett, but if your series ends in a kick, you've done well. As stupid as that is, it's better than a fumble deep in your own territory. So you look at that. We know Zeke doesn't have a fumbling issue. He did Sunday against Atlanta. My guess is ball security. My hope is ball security won't be an issue this week against the Seahawks. You don't lose the turnover battle 3-0, and then you add in the 2 turnover on downs on the 4th down failures. That's 5 turnovers they overcame and still got a win. They got one yesterday. That was a freebie. That was your get out of jail free card. You don't get any more of those in the NFL season.
I'll tell you, I agree with you. If fumbling becomes an issue, we got much bigger problems than just the fumbling. But they're not fumblers. I don't expect that to happen. But it's almost as disheartening a fumble as a 3-and-out to start out the game with your scripted plays and hoping to see a crack or a change in the defense. You find nothing out there, and then 3-and-out again because you're on game 4 or play 4, and you still haven't found your way. I think that's almost as disheartening, if not more so, than a fumble when you felt like you were moving the ball. At least you feel like you can go back to the well.
I was talking to a high school coach today who we were talking about coaching, and I asked about the 2-point deal. And he said, everybody makes a big deal. It's funny you bring up scripted plays. So we were having this conversation earlier. He said sometimes, while every play is designed to score a touchdown, and every script you want to go down and you want to score early, he was like, there's times I have plays, whether it's 3-and-out or not, just because you're trying to get a sense of what the other team is doing based on your look. So it's not necessarily my scripted plays. Well, these are the best 15 that we got. We should be able to open and score.
No, that's not the case at all.
Like, sometimes a 3-and-out on your first possession is almost by design. They just want to get a couple of early looks so that they can decide which next set of plays that they want to go with, because they're not sure what the defense is going to do.
And sometimes I think that leads to a slow start when you have 10 scripted plays and you have to go through 3 series to put your different formations out there to see what can actually work. You've almost lost a quarter unless you can get that first down series and you get 6-7 plays. Suddenly you have an idea what can work and what can't. And I do think that plays a role sometimes in the Cowboys starting slow, because you go 3-and-out a couple times, you're still working through your first couple of plays in the game plan, and you're already into the second quarter. And we found once they worked through that, they found their offense and have been able to be moderately successful, if not very successful, in the second half. So if they start a little bit quicker and against a team like this, it'll certainly help in the long term. But those trends are hard to break, just like it's hard to start to become a fumbler. Learning how to start fast, that's a hard thing to learn.
I look at Russell Wilson right now as the leader in the NFL in completion percentage at 82%. He's thrown 9 touchdown passes. That leads the NFL. He's only behind Lamar Jackson in yards per attempt. We could spend all day about Zeke fumbling, yards, all this. That secondary, which is beat up, has to play big. They can get off to a fast start, but if this turns into an arena football game, we do have Greg the Leg, but my goodness, the defense is going to have to get stops on Russell Wilson. Or you have to hope that Pete Carroll makes one of his typical, what the hell were you thinking? Why not give New England a chance to win this thing kind of decision? We're going for it all on 3rd and 1 with no time left. Yeah, that makes sense.
Pete's been known to ruin a game for enthusiasm alone. But, we'll get into that as well. Hey, let's talk some Houston Texans. They got us another sneaky, tough game. That Pittsburgh Steelers team looks like they've returned back to 2018 form. Can the Texans pull it out? We'll talk with John McClain to see if they can get themselves on the right side of the ledger. Hold on tight. McClain's going to join us next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, because you do. Best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Man, there's a lot of conditions there. So whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 to get you out fast. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in the Valley, in Corpus, anywhere in between, AA Best Bail Bonds, license number 149. Call 210-225-2121, 225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
ESPN San Antonio is your home for the Texas Rangers.
This is Elvis Andrews of the Texas Rangers.
Brought to you by GPS of Texas.
Rangers Baseball on 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Hey, it's David Van Camp. My wife and I just bought our first house here in San Antonio a few months ago, and when we moved on from apartment living, we made an agreement. No more junk. We were done wasting time and money getting stuff that won't last for a long time. So that's why when we wanted to install a water softener, we went with Alamo Water Softeners. It's a local company that thrives on its great reputation here in San Antonio. So when you're ready to toss out the junk and go with the company that gets it right the first time, call Alamo Water Softeners, 210-274-6122, alamowatersofteners.com.
Northeast Independent School District is now hiring and training school bus drivers. Whether you're looking for a new job, you're a retiree, or you're retired military, come help drive students to succeed and apply at Northeast ISD Transportation today. No experience is necessary, and you will get paid while earning your CDL and learning how to drive a school bus. The Northeast ISD Transportation Department is ranked as one of the top 100 school bus fleets in America, and our drivers receive exceptional pay and benefits, including health, dental, vision, and retirement. If you're looking for work, if you're retired from the military, or you simply want to make a difference in our community, apply now with the Northeast ISD Transportation Department. Join our team and discover Northeast ISD by calling 210-356-9229. That's 210-356-9229. Or you can text Drive Bus to 797979. That's text Drive Bus to 797979.
Fall is a season that's a little in the middle. It's sort of the best of two seasons. It's no longer a sweaty summer, but the winter chill is still around the corner. And that's the perfect time to feed and seed your lawn with Scott's Turf Builder. Even better than spring, because the soil is still warm, but the air is getting cool. So your lawn gets the most nutrients in the best combination of temperatures. Feed and seed now with Scott's Turf Builder and build the best lawn for every season. Scott's, it's good out here.
Everybody's taking advantage of Diamonds Direct's 5-year zero-interest financing offer. In fact, our store hours have been extended to include this Sunday to accommodate the demand. But hurry! This offer ends September 30th. Pick any item. Get the Diamonds Direct amazing value price. Make no down payment and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Whether your purchase is $3,000 or $30,000, you can do this. 5 years, zero interest on approved credit. And remember, we'll be open this Sunday afternoon for your convenience. Get details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What do you want to da-da-da? What do y'all want to da-da-da? I have no idea what to da-da-da. We could switch to Progressive da. Oh yeah? We could switch to Progressive and sa. Okay. We could sa and have to buy some za. Oh yeah, let's switch to Progressive da and get some za with the money we saw. Yeah! Now we know we're gonna da-da-da.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. It might just be the most normal thing you da-da-da.
Quote to da at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Doesn't get any easier for the Houston Texans. Welcome back to the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. The Texans just pinball around to start the season. The Pittsburgh Steelers coming up. Let's talk Texans with one of the best poet laureate of Texas sports writers joining us, John McClain of the Houston Chronicle. John, welcome aboard, man. How's your day going?
My day's going great, guys. How about you?
We're doing well. Ready for another football weekend. Got good college football on Saturday, and then the NFL on Sunday.
Maybe.
Hey, Coach, can we put some money together and find Houston somebody to play? Can we pull our money and find some team somewhere? I think there's a school in Monterrey, Mexico that might be able to put together a roster, because evidently nobody on this side of the river will play U of H. What a mess. I feel so bad for the Cougars.
Baylor's had 5 games canceled. Houston's had 5 games canceled. It'll be amazing if more are not canceled or postponed. You know, college football, they don't have the millions of dollars that the pro sports do to make sure they get the best testing every day possible. Plus, you guys know, young people are going to party. We see it all the time. They're going to get contagious and spread it around. College football will be a survival of the fittest.
It certainly will. And, it's hard for me to feel bad for Dana, but I do. I mean, they get some sympathy. Although everything that he was saying outside of McLean Stadium last week, I thought was a little uncalled for. It's not like Baylor could help it. I thought that was pretty lowbrow of the Cougars coach. But let's talk about them Houston Texans. They got another tough one against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And look, with their schedule being 0-2 isn't a surprise to anybody. But is there things happening with the Texans that have surprised you in those losses about their lack of something?
First of all, they're right where I thought they'd be. 0-2. I picked them that way in August. Picked them 0-3 in August, and then I picked them 2-3, and then I picked them to finish 10-6. And the several things have been good. And I didn't expect much from their defense. Their defense just doesn't have a lot of talent. But I thought the offense would be better. The offense has not been good, hadn't been consistent. I know that Deshaun Watson has new receivers, Randall Cobb and Brandon Cooks, new running back David Johnson, who's also heavily involved in the receiving game. Will Fuller had a great start, then disappeared in the second game against Baltimore. I picked them to lose those games by 10. I picked them to lose this one only by 7 because Pittsburgh struggled at home to beat Denver and backup quarterback Jeff Driscoll. And so I expect the Texans will play a closer game than they did against the Chiefs and Ravens. But right now, Chiefs and Ravens, to me, are the best teams in the NFL, and Green Bay's third. And everybody else is competing for fourth. And so I thought the offense would be better. Tight end Jordan Akins has done well, even though David Johnson was shut down. The entire running game was shut down in the second game. Watson's been sacked 8 times. That ties Carson Wentz for the most in the league. Not surprisingly, teams are 0-2 each and among the biggest disappointments in the NFL. The defense, giving up 198 yards a game rushing, played the Ravens really well through 3 quarters, then gave up 153 yards rushing in the fourth quarter. And their pass defense is third, giving up 190. And people say, well, that's because everybody runs. But the fact is, Lamar Jackson threw 1 touchdown pass of 1 yard. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 inside the 10-yard line. Last year in regular season, those 2 guys had 7. This time they had 4. Jackson didn't hurt them running. So they did a good job against Lamar Jackson. Tight end Mark Andrews had 2 touchdowns in the first game. He had 1 catch against the Texans. So I saw some signs of life for the defense led by J.J. Watt, who had 2 sacks.
John McClain of the Houston Chronicle here on ESPN San Antonio. You brought up Jordan Akins, and it seems like that if there was a tight end part of this offense, it would certainly kind of protect a little bit more of Deshaun's issues about holding the ball too long. You got a safety net. At least that's the old school thought. As we see the offense improve and to get to the 10-6 that you forecast, what's going to be more important in the short term? The more of a usage with Akins at the tight end, or David Johnson become more and more a part of the offense?
Well, they need to run the ball, even though they're primarily a passing offense. But they need to run. They've been 8th and 9th at rushing the last 2 years. They ran last season anytime Bill O'Brien's first 6 years. The emphasis of the offense shifted to Watson. So they need Johnson. It's not Johnson, it's the offensive line. And so the offensive line needs to play better. And it's not the left side. Left tackle Laramie Tunsil's playing great. But the rest of them have been up and down, and there's no excuse for that. Because Kansas City and Baltimore have really good defenses, but we're not talking about the 85 Bears or the Steel Curtain or the 2000 Ravens. And Pittsburgh's got a good defense, number 1 in the NFL with 54 sacks last year. And this year they're number 2 with 10, going against a team that is allowed tied for the second most. So they should be feasting on the Texans' passing game and let them get rid of the ball quicker. And they get blitzed a lot. Pittsburgh blitzes a lot. They got to pick up the blitz. Watson's got to find a hot receiver, and that receiver's got to go right to the spot where the blitzing corner or safety vacated That's football 101. And I assume as time goes on, they'll be better because they've been good about it in the past. It would help if Fuller could play. I know I've told you guys a stat, but before you asked me, like the other 50 shows have this week, would they be better with Hopkins? Yeah, they might have lost by 7 instead of by 14 and 16. That reminds them Hopkins played when it was 41-7 at Baltimore last year, played when it was 51-31 at Kansas City last year. The problem last season, Will Fuller, when he played, they averaged almost 6 more points a game. So common sense tells you they need Will Fuller on the field. He wasn't the first one. They still got beat 14, but he just disappeared. I know he got hurt. They're trying to act like he didn't. He's fine. Well, if he's fine, why didn't he have a target? Because he is their top receiver. And as far as Jordan Akins, they played 2 tight ends a lot. Darren Fells had 7 touchdowns last year, another in the playoffs. He had another one against Baltimore. Akins catches more passes because he's good after the catch, where Fells is primarily a red zone target. But if you're talking about throwing to 2 tight ends, plus Fuller, plus Cooks, plus Cobb, plus David Johnson, there's only one football.
Well, I mean, you would think with all that things would be a little bit better. And no, John, we weren't going to ask would they be better without Hopkins because
we knew that.
We know the answer to that one. I'm curious is Will Fuller actually going to play this week? I'm not sure what to make of the injury reports that they put out.
He's on the practice field. That's like the Chargers last week didn't disclose that Tyrod Taylor had broken ribs, fractured ribs, till Anthony Lynn discussed it on Pro Football Talk. He only appeared on the injury report at the end of the week. They're going to get a big fine because the NFL frowns on that. But Fuller, you don't know from one week to the next about him. They're trying to say he's fine, but I saw somebody massaging his hammy on the sideline. So if they want to have a chance to beat the Steelers, Roethlisberger's 4-1 against them, Fuller's got to play, and he's got to play well.
I want to go back to Tyrod Taylor and the fact that he wasn't on the injury report. Having the doctor puncture your quarterback's lung, is that not punishment enough? Do they really have to get fined on top of that?
Well, he's not getting fined. If you were going to fine him, that'd be kicking a guy when he was down, kicking him in the ribs when he was down. And I know teams cheat on their injury reports, but they ought to be smart enough to keep their mouth shut about it and not say, oh, yeah, he was cracked ribs in the last game. And today when they fine him on a mask and stuff like that, coaches are making millions of dollars. If they want to get coaches to wear masks, give them a 15-yard penalty. They'll wear the mask the way they're supposed to.
John McClain of the Chronicle joining us here on the Blitz. As we look to tonight, we do have a football game, as strange as it may be. We got the Jaguars and the Dolphins going off tonight. I saw your picks earlier, John. What are your thoughts on Gardner Minshew? I've seen some comparisons, at least in not so much in style of play, but in outcome. Gardner Minshew looking a little like Tony Romo. He might get this job and nobody can take it from him.
As a rookie last season, he had 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 92 rating. That's pretty darn good with a bad team. But yet, he didn't get a lot of love. They traded Foles. They kept him. Everybody said they're tanking for Trevor. Fact is, Doug Marrone, the coach, has control of the roster for the first time. He got rid of guys he thought didn't buy what he's selling. And Minshew has looked really good. Both interceptions at Tennessee, and this is something that always bothers me. Well, he threw 2 interceptions. Yeah, both of them were tipped at the line. I don't hold tip passes against quarterbacks because you got 6'5" linemen playing a technique. If they're not going to get him, they just hold that pass blocker and try to time their jump. It's hard enough for a guy who's 6'1" or 6 foot to get the ball between them, much less over them. I think he did really well. He's out, didn't have his best receiver, DJ Chark, tonight. But they're playing the Dolphins and Fitzpatrick. People are calling it the mustache versus the beard.
That's exactly what it is, man. I mean, Bic is not a sponsor of tonight's football game taking place. I do want to ask you, though, John, a general NFL or general football question, because I know, Tim Kelly said they've got to do a better job on 4th down. We've seen more coaches going for it on fourth down. We've seen the Cowboys fail a couple of times at it, a 4th and 3 in the opener, 2 fake punts last week. Is it analytics that are having coaches become more aggressive or gambling on fourth downs, or are we just paying attention that coaches are doing it more?
No, they're doing it more because of analytics. There's a great story on The Athletic I read today about analytics. They did a survey of like 27 people about what teams use it the most, the least, which ones get the best results. And it's all about analytics. Now, it would help if you did better on first, second, third down. Do they have analytics for first, second, third, or just fourth down? If you got Lamar Jackson, you can go for it in your end of the field when you're up by, boy, it was a bad move for Harbaugh to do it, but it worked. Andy Reid did it early in the game, way in his territory. It worked. Bill O'Brien did it, 34-yard line, and they got blitzed and they didn't pick it up, and they threw it at Darren Fells' feet and it gave up a touchdown. So I would not do it because of analytics. I would do it if I thought I had a good chance of making it, and I would pay specific attention of who I was playing, who my offensive line and blockers were. And if they played a certain defense, I would call timeout and punt. I wouldn't just go up there and do it no matter what I saw. I think they ought to be smarter about it. But coaches today, you see them going for 2 before they should, going for fourth down. Bill O'Brien's gone for it a lot on fourth down in the past, and he's done well. He just doesn't need to do it when he's on his own 34-yard line. Fake punt and a bad play against the Ravens. Fake punt, of course, was in Kansas City.
John McClain of the Chronicle joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. As we've 2 weeks into the season so far, John, are there any other trends that you might have noticed that, just kind of surprising given the times that in the NFL that really we didn't expect to see so far?
Fewer penalties and higher scoring. I guess they go hand in hand. And as far as the higher scoring, why do they even need to play a preseason game? Some teams needed to play them, like the Texans. Maybe the Texans, Vikings, and Eagles, the most disappointing of the 0-2 teams, need to play preseason games. But, boy, imagine how many points the Packers would be scoring if they'd actually gotten Rodgers some receivers, and if they were because everybody was whining. Poor old Rodgers, they're not giving him receivers. And if he'd had receivers in preseason games to get ready, instead of 85, they might have scored 185. And so it's more exciting. Russell Wilson, 9 touchdown passes, first 2 games. Cam Newton's back. These quarterbacks are playing great. Deshaun Watson's not. Drew Brees is not. Some of them aren't. But you got to think the ones that have played great in the past, like Watson, will so again. Drew Brees, I'm not sure. I felt bad for Drew trying to throw the ball to come from behind against the Raiders.
Since we're on all the weird stuff, Mike McCarthy's decision to go for 2 instead of making it a 1-score game, leaving it at a 9-point deficit. Do you agree with that, or do you think McCarthy made the right call?
No, I wouldn't have gone for 2 there because I would have gotten the points that would have put me closer if I scored again. Now, it worked because the Falcons were brain dead on their hands team. When they put their hands team out there, they forgot to put their brains team out there too. That was one of the biggest special teams blunders I've ever seen. I can't believe somebody's head wasn't rolling down Peachtree Street in Atlanta. And the Cowboys, it was an incredible comeback, incredible performance by Dak Prescott. But man, oh man, they know they were lucky that the Falcons had no clue what to do and on that watermelon onside kick.
John McClain of the Houston Chronicle here on ESPN San Antonio. John, thank you so much for taking some time today. It's always a pleasure. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you next week.
Rob and Jason, thank you guys very much, and stay safe.
John McClain of the Chronicle every week right here on ESPN San Antonio. As you can tell, it is far more than just Texans talk. We come back, the NBA, we're getting closer and closer to the finals. What are the Lakers going to do tonight? And can Jamal Murray lift the Nuggets one more time? We'll look at the NBA coming up. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. The weekend is spread out before us. Is all we can wait for is good times and football on television, and it's coming. You head over to Twin Peaks. My goodness, every one of those hundreds of TVs are going to be stocked full of sports all weekend back. They are here, and there's no better place than going to Twin Peaks because you know it's the ultimate sports lodge with a menu to match. Pairing their made-from-scratch menu items with one of those 29-degree cold beers. You know how I know that? Thermometer right there above the tap. You know it's frosty cold, and on a weekend like this, a cold beer is going to go down quite well. And if you're a bourbon aficionado, September is bourbon month, and it's about to wind down. So if you're looking for those hard-to-find, unique bourbons, go grab one at Twin Peaks. They got the Blantons, Buffalo Trace. Oh, my goodness. Weller as well. How about Foolproof? Twin Peaks, they've got it all for you. On the screens, my goodness, there's almost too much to talk about. Showtime boxing will be going on this weekend. We've also got UFC fights as well. College football, pro football, NBA basketball, NASCAR. What else do you need? Well, you need some of them scenic views.
100% sports, 100% of the time. That's 200% sports.
Your math is blowing my mind.
San Antonio's sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
It's been a hell of a year, San Antonio. I'm Chip Ingram, and my bars, the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant, have been closed more than they've been open, and I didn't see that coming. Fortunately, things are getting better. 281 North is open, and football is finally here. Our kitchen is open every day till 2 a.m., and we open for happy hour at 11 a.m. And you know, as our customers say, our food is pretty darn good. So this is me asking you to help a local guy and his staff get back on our feet. Come see us at the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 North and Redland Road.
Hi. My name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 25 years, I've represented people and families seriously injured in car and commercial truck collisions. After a collision, you need to know that insurance companies have trained adjusters and attorneys on staff with one goal in mind: pay as little as possible. How good are the insurance companies? It's fairly easy to figure out. All you need to know is that insurance companies report net profits in the billions of dollars every year. That's net profits. And this year will be no different. If you or your family have been seriously injured in an auto collision, I want you to call me as soon as you can after the collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Your call will be answered anytime, day or night. The phone call and our initial consultation is absolutely free of charge with no obligation. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400, or find me on the web at alawyerforus.com.
Cover more ground with the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick, featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, best-in-class acceleration and handling with cargo, and the strength to haul what needs hauling. All backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get more done right with the Kubota Sidekick. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
At Dos Equis, we realize you've missed celebrating quite a few holidays this year. That's why we're proposing a makeup holiday. St. Patrick de Mayo of Independence Day. Sounds very festive. Dos Equis, a most interesting beer. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Copyright 2020.
Your most life-changing sleep is about what's underneath. This is a Casper mattress. Inside, precisely 1,501 perforations create a cooling system so effective, you won't be awake to notice. Only Casper mattresses are made with 86 supportive gel pods to align your spine and eliminate aches and pains. Altogether, it's the cooling, supportive comfort you need for the most refreshed feeling come morning. Only on a Casper mattress. Only at Casper.com.
At CDW, we get that even the biggest jobs need to fit on your lap.
It's true. My entire workday happens right here on my lap.
And you can get it done faster with the performance and security of a device configured by CDW and powered by 10th Gen Intel Core V Pro processors.
Nice.
Are you done yet, Mommy?
more time for story time.
An even better use of your lap. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/IntelBeGreat.
That is the Blitz. Brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Injured in a car accident? Call Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400, or go to alawyer4us.com. Around the NBA tonight, we get another Laker Nugget edition. It's 2-1 Lakers. Nuggets in quite convincing fashion win Game 3. They're trying to hold serve once again. I guess they're at home tonight. We saw the Celtics start slow, finish fast, but not fast enough, and the Heat kind of closed them down. And now I think the juice is on the Heat side. I'm not sure where the juice lies in this on the West, Jason, because certainly we know the Nuggets are fully capable of beating the Lakers. We saw it.
Honestly, they should be up 2-1, but they're not. And it's the Lakers, and it's LeBron and Anthony Davis, and they've got to go on a mission tonight, almost like what you saw in Game 2. I don't know how they bring the Mamba mentality without the Mamba jerseys, but they need to figure that out. Or wear the Mamba jerseys. They're undefeated in them. I'd wear them every day. I'd wear them to bed. I'd wear them to the pool. That's all I'd wear. You're a winner when you're wearing those. But since Denver has home court, I guess they get to pick the uniforms. You know, you look at Jamal Murray in this matchup and what he's been able to do. But on ESPN, Zach Lowe talk about Jokic as the new Dirk. And I've never really thought of him like Dirk, but Zach Lowe does make a pretty compelling case that, you know, he's the latest reiteration of Dirk.
I'm sure. But Jokic plays a different way than Dirk did. Is he a winner? Does he elevate his guys? Yeah. Has he adopted the Dirk one that was skip jump shot, the fadeaway jump shot off one leg? Yeah, I've seen Jokic do that. That seems to be a European move. I'm down with that. I think that's appropriate. But I'll tell you this: in Dirk's wildest dreams, he could never pass the way the Joker passes. Dirk was an offensive machine. He was a professional bucket getter, the likes of which we had never seen before. But what Jokic is capable of doing with the ball in his hands and elevating other guys' games is something Dirk never had. And I'm not saying Dirk is any less of a player. He's one of the greatest to ever set foot on the court. But Jokic brings a different skill set. So I appreciate the comparison, especially if there's a title in the future there for him, because Jokic is fully capable of lifting his team the way Dirk did. But Jokic is the hub to the spokes, and Dirk was the recipient. They play kind of two different positions there.
Well, definitely. And again, what Zach Lowe points out in his ESPN article is that Jokic gets compared more often to, say, Marc Gasol, and he's so much more than that. And the point center position that he has created in the NBA, but his offensive crunch time efficiency is that of Dirk. And, but when you've got an Anthony Davis, when you've got a Dwight Howard, you would figure the Lakers have the size to try to slow him down and make somebody else beat you. And, I do think is as much as I want Denver to win this series, in my heart of hearts, man, I still think the Lakers end up winning this series. It's still in 6.
I think in 6. I think we're all guardedly optimistic that LeBron and the Lakers, one way or another, wink, wink, are going to make it into the finals. I've seen some questionable calls that seem to try to slow Denver's momentum more than once, but we'll leave that be. Tonight, when you look at the game, I'm very interested to see the way that they handled Dwight Howard, because Dwight was effective in the game the other night. He was his activity did tend to take away from Jokic, but what it did do is it allowed Jamal Murray to become that stud. It took Jokic out of the offensive flow and made him a passer, and that's fine. But when you did, suddenly Jamal Murray went off because he was keying off the double teams and what was going on with Dwight Howard and Jokic. It was effective to the extent it took Jokic out of the game, but as long as Murray's still capable of dominating that way, and if they can find anything else Denver's still in a pretty good shape. But again, like you say, I don't know why I'm not more on this Denver bandwagon. I just feel like once LeBron and everybody just kind of settles down and doesn't give away possessions and stays within 8 points the entire night, that the last 10 minutes they're going to own, because they can't, Denver, for all they're capable of offensively, cannot stop downhill LeBron and downhill Anthony Davis. They just can't, and they haven't been able to. But they've been able to keep them in situations where they couldn't go downhill. And I don't think the Lakers are going to be kept out of that much longer.
Well, and I think the Lakers are still just the better team. You know, I mean, coming into the finals, you know, I picked Miami to win. I thought Miami was the better team and playing better basketball than Boston. And I know that was an unpopular pick, but they're up 3-1. As much as I want to pick Denver, and as much as I am rooting for Denver, I'm rooting for Denver because they're not the Lakers. But the Lakers are going to win this series. They're still the better basketball team. They just have to play like it. And we didn't see that in the last game. They got their doors blown out. They're going to come back. They're going to be strong. I mean, and we've seen that from the Lakers throughout the bubble experiment. You know, they haven't played a complete 48-minute game yet. They haven't played solid back-to-back games yet. And almost like what I said with the Clippers, and when we were talking about it with the Clippers, you know, they're the team that can flip the light switch and go. The Clippers proved that they couldn't. And if the Lakers didn't learn from that, then that's on them. You know, the Lakers have the benefit of saying, you know what, we can't take this Denver team lightly. We can't just show up at this gym in Orlando and get a win. They've got to be focused. And you get slapped the way they did the other day. If they don't come in focused, then, you know, the Lakers have more. The Lakers have Clipper-type problems internally.
Whoever wins tonight is going to win the series. I'll just put that out there. If Denver wins tonight, they're going to win the series. If the Lakers, of course, it makes it a lot easier for the Lakers. They'd be up 3-1. But if the Denver gets even, I'm not sure how the Lakers maintain it. And if the Lakers go up 3-1, it's over. I do firmly believe we'll have a good idea after tonight. Around the rest of the NBA, lots of talk about the 76ers, a great open gig. You got two superstars there with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Mike D'Antoni is a free agent now shopping, and it appears that the 76ers have let it be known that if they are to sign D'Antoni, they are willing to make a deal. You got to figure if it's D'Antoni, Embiid makes a move. I bring this up because we know Billy Donovan's already taken that job in Chicago, and I think Joel Embiid would look awfully good in red and black as the Bulls try to rebuild that once great franchise. And Billy Donovan, there's no better talent coach in the league right now. This guy can coach talent, and he can coach rookies, and all of them get treated the same as we saw in this run. I think it'd be a good move.
Well, and more importantly, he can coach up bigs. And, you know, Joel Embiid is going to create some value. So what would Chicago have to give up for him? Although if I'm Philadelphia, I try to trade him to the West. I don't necessarily know that I want to trade him to somewhere in the East, but you've got to find the coach that wants and can use a big that Joel Embiid offers. You know, every time you hear somebody's on the trade block, your first thought is, well, how does he fit in San Antonio? He doesn't. Not with what we saw from the Spurs in the bubble. So, you know, although if you could ship out a LaMarcus and a part, maybe, but why? That's not a good trade. So you look around and say, what coach would want or could utilize a Joel Embiid?
You know, 10 years ago, you'd trade half your franchise for Joel Embiid. Now, sure. This is a buyer's market here. I mean, it's there's just not very many people, I think, going to bid the numbers that Embiid is frankly worth, no matter if the style of game has kind of changed from what he's good at. It'll be interesting to see what he's worth, because I'm not sure when they decide to finally make the deal that the 76er fan will be happy, because the return is going to be trash contracts and futures. I mean, you're not going to get return on Joel Embiid. There's just no way.
I would say you're not going to get a Paul George kind of return. I don't even know that a Kawhi for DeMar and Jakob kind of return you would get for Joel Embiid. And, you know, you're right. I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd trade half your team for that. But in today's NBA, no, you got to find a coach that can utilize a big. And you look at what Billy Donovan did it with Steven Adams and Serge Ibaka, and you go, yeah, I could see him working in Chicago. The question is, what would they have to give up to get him? And so that, although, hell, they might just, get rid of him.
They got some talent there. You got a young guard
Joel
set.
and some Yingling for whatever, just to get him out of Philly.
Well, there's some talent there. You've got Kobe White, a rookie that really came on, will be a starter next year. Zach LaVine's a superstar as far as highlights, and certainly wins a dunk contest for you now and again. Lauri Markkanen can shoot. They have parts to give up, but I'm not sure if I'm Donovan and the brain trust there that I want to give that up for Embiid. Hey, it's almost that time, guys. What's on Tap, brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, compiled by James Pleasure in his absence. Goodness knows what he's left for us. We're going to tell you what James Pleasure believes is right for viewing and watching coming up this weekend. It's going to be a pleasure. Hang on tight. What's on Tap coming next? You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Hey, don't get left out of the conversation.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if you did.
Follow us on Facebook at ESPN San Antonio and on Twitter at ESPN_SA.
And of course, on the go at ESPNSA.com.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Nobody plans on getting arrested, but it happens. Get out of jail fast by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans and are open 24/7. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
If you're looking for authentic sausage, the kind you could find at butcher shops back in the old days, then Kielbasa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. Jason Minix here. I love it when I'm grilling up some Kielbasa because it is the best. You see, at Kielbasa, they make their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients. Never frozen meat. They don't add fillers and chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then they smoke it over real hardwood, just the way they did back in 1949 when the company was started right here in San Antonio. And everything they make is still made here in town over there on South Brazos Street. At Kielbasa, they're on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you will ever eat. If it's not, just call Michael Kielbasa. He'll give you your money back. His number is on the back of every package sold. Kielbasa sausage is now available at Walmart. And, of course, at HEB, you can get Kielbasa sausage, bacon, chorizo, and those breakfast links. So go get yourself some Kielbasa today.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vic ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
It's always smart to shop at Diamonds Direct, but right now it's smarter than ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing and no money down on any purchase. No kidding, it's the best offer ever. Keep your money and finance the entire purchase, even the tax, for 5 years without paying a dime in interest. Get a $10,000 certified diamond for only $168 a month. I'm telling you, this makes fine jewelry more affordable than ever. It's definitely the smart way to buy. On approved credit, details at diamondsdirect.com.
Open this Sunday.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Picking up an online order? No problem. It'll just be a moment. We've got more convenient ways to shop besides our same-day store pickup. You can also shop from your car with our free curbside pickup, or you can even shop completely from home with our free next-day delivery. Just order by 10 p.m. on AutoZone.com. Getting the job done just got easier. Free next-day delivery on eligible orders. Restrictions at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save for driving safely. Save for driving less with pay-per-mile insurance. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. Savings based on early signing, discount drive bys, and mile wise. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Smoothbrook, Illinois.
The Blitz with Jason and Rob want to let you know what's on tap. Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint.
Yes, sir. Just about made it. What's on tap? Brought to you every week by Sam's Burger Joint. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, coming to you with a list of all things fun, or close to it, and available in San Antonio and through the streams. Yes.
While Sam's Burger Joint does not have any live shows this weekend, I did get an email from Sam's Burger Joint today. I'm on their email list. They do have some live shows coming up. Friday, October 16th, they've got Mothership, the tribute to Led Zeppelin, and Q, the Music of Queen, on Saturday, October 17th. So it looks like mid-October is when they're getting back into the live music. And, you know, I thought it might be a little bit sooner, but at the same time, you know, you got to book stuff. I mean, guys are available, but start booking. And the fact that things are on the calendar. I saw Randy Rogers is doing a thing at Floors here in about a month.
Floors Country Store. That's going to be on our list, I saw. So let's dig into it. Green Hall, they're open and happening tonight. Adam Johnson will be going off. Let's see. We got Ezra Charles this Friday. The Ezra Charles Band Saturday. Flat Top Jones and Granger Smith will be going on. So Green Hall's popping already. Got some live music going on.
Yeah, and on Sunday at Green Hall, it's one of Rob's favorites, Slim Bob and the Fabulous Stump Grinders. All those that hate football will be out there.
Kathy Murray and the Kilowatts.
12:30 to 4:40.
Yeah. That's for that crew. I mean, there's that Sunday go to meeting crew. They're heading out and going and enjoying a good Sunday afternoon.
I just love the set time is 12:30 to 4:40.
That is a highly it's an anal stage manager. It's 12:39. Wrap it up. We got another band. Monday, September the 28th. Brett Graham will be at the Floors. Wednesday, they got Jason George, Dennis Fallon, Aaron Covington, and God knows who else. We'll be going 3 hours, 6 to 9 over there. And now at Floors Country Store, I have a listing there, Jason. Do you have a band?
We do. We have live music all weekend. First off, Friday night, Aaron Luce is going to be playing out there, former frontman for Stained, 2 shows, 6 and 10. But on Saturday and Sunday, and it looks like he's doing a couple shows both days as well, Robert Earl Keane, baby. Now, I'm surprised that the good Aggie that Robert Earl Keane is, he's got a show scheduled at the same time the Aggies have their first football game. But it's Vanderbilt, so that game will be over. You can go watch the 9 o'clock show with no problem.
They got TVs at Floors, right?
Yeah, but can you imagine Robert Earl Keane trying to do his show with the eye half on a TV set?
Yeah, I actually can. To be quite frank, I've seen Robert Earl do shows in a lot of different manners. One of them might have been watching football. That's good news, man. I had no idea. Robert Earl's going to be out at Floors Country Store this weekend. That's huge.
That's why we do this, Rob.
Absolutely. All right, let's see. You want to laugh a little bit Thursday through Saturday starting tonight. Chingo Bling will be going on. Now, Ching as I know him, is known for his insightful, unapologetic Latino stand-up comedy in multiple viral videos. Dan, you watch those viral videos? You a funny guy?
Can't miss him.
Oh, there you go. Chingo Bling.
Now we're hearing this from Dan, who I didn't notice this the last couple of days, but, you know, now that he's unmasked an hour and a half into the show, Dan has an interesting haircut going on. I mean, his quarantine haircut's different than everybody else's. He's got a back mohawk. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to mullet this thing or what you've got going on, but that is one interesting haircut.
I mean, if we're going to blow past the break anyway, yes, this is in tribute to Animal, the late wrestler, Joe Laurinaitis.
So you went home and shaved your head last night and then discovered you have a bald spot right in the middle of your mohawk.
What are you going to do? You're 40, man. What are you going to do?
Dan Ciolana, he was being kind. We are certainly up against it. What's on Tap is brought to you every week by Sam's Burger Joint. Go check out that website. Guess what? There is a music future for Sam's, and they're already on the roster. Check it out. And when you go, get yourself a Blitz burger, but bring a friend because they're huge when we come back. Let's do some grilling with a Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green, the iconic cleaning formula known around the globe. Try a Simple Green product today, and if you're not 100% satisfied, I'll refund your money. Visit us at simplegreen.com.
Simple Green. Okay, so where do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day? Go on, tell them, Robin.
Good morning, America.
George.
Good morning, America.
Lara.
Good morning, America.
So, take it from Robin.
Put some good in your morning.
With ABC's Good Morning America.
Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green, the iconic cleaning formula known around the globe. Try a Simple Green product today, and if you're not 100% satisfied, I'll refund your money. Visit us at simplegreen.com.
Simple Green.
This is time that matters, a window of time to help protect the ones you love. Your preteen benefits from staying up to date with their well visits. This is your window of protection. Schedule their well visit now. Brought to you by Merck.
Cover more ground and get more savings on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Gas-powered with a top speed of 40 miles per hour and best-in-class acceleration and handling with cargo, all backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for as low as $10,649 plus 0 down and 3.99% APR for 60 months now through July 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas for over 70 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
At CDW, we get modern servers need to be flexible,
scalable, and predictable. I predicted you'd say that.
Okay, what will I say next?
Probably something about server security.
Impressive and freaky. CDW can implement secure Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Gen 10 servers that improve speed and performance while reducing
costs. See, predictable.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it.
I predict a web ad.
This is Nate Noonan of the Dallas Cowboys. You're listening to 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play.
For everything Cowboys.
KCTC San Antonio. Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, the Blitz.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Thank every one of y'all for joining us today. You want to watch it live? It's awfully easy. If you have the wherewithal, go to ESPNSA.com. There you can watch the live broadcast, or maybe our YouTube channel, or maybe on our Facebook page, wherever you are. Thanks for jumping in with us. We got 30 more minutes of fun. GPS of Texas is bringing you your Texas Rangers, Houston Astros final series, I guess. We're going to wind down the string. Season just about done. Yeah, we've made fun of the Rangers all season long. Separation between the Rangers and Astros is not that much. It hasn't been a pretty season for us.
Is.
I'll tell you, Woodward, there with the Rangers, I'm starting to question the long-term stability of the general manager there with the Texas Rangers. It has not been pretty at all. Last night going down again.
Well, and again, though, I mean, you talk about, I mean, you know, as a manager who's analytic, but remember we had him on the show and he talked about, it's half gut, half analytics, but John Daniels, their GM, should get him some better players. I mean, he'll be held accountable for this, but John Daniels has been there a long time. I mean, and yeah, they got that beautiful new building that will host a World Series this year. That won't include them.
But there will be some fans, so we're told. So the weekend's coming up, and you know, as football season begins, we start cooling off. I'm curious, Jason. Now, some of us have just jumped onto the grilling bandwagon, others have not. And this is Grilling with the Blitz. We do it every Friday. This is my first weekend. Or Thursday, Friday, and we give away a gift card. We're gonna choose off of our website for those that have uploaded their photos of what they've grilled previously. We're gonna give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, used over their Heebner location, of which I quite often frequent. And as we start, I feel like this is the traditional. This is the beginning of football season. It's not just one or two conferences. We've got Big 12 action. You got SEC action, full bore football all weekend long, going along with the NFL. And as my team begins, as the Aggies begin, I was trying to think, what do I grill for the Aggies and the Commodores?
Well,
I mean, sometimes like if you're playing like the South Carolina Gamecocks, well, you're gonna do some kind of yard bird. You're gonna do something. You're gonna cook up the enemy. And if you're playing the Longhorns, well, yeah. But what's a Commodore? What am I? Should it be like Nashville hot chicken? What should I do for a team with no real?
Nashville hot chicken will be it. And as we're talking about college football, breaking news: the Pac-12 will play this year, a 7-game schedule starting on November 6th.
Your inside information, your inside informant leaked that yesterday. You have ears on campus there at Arizona State.
I do. I happen to know that the football players that might live at one particular apartment complex in the last week have started drinking less at the pool and going to the gym earlier in the morning in preparation that they were going to have to start practicing pretty damn quick. So, I got that going for me. But you think about that's a good question. What are you guys grilling this weekend for football? I mean, it's almost home gating. If you're not tailgating, but you still want to do stuff, because I've noticed the last couple of football weekends, I've been cooking a lot of stuff that isn't really big meal, but stuff that I can use to graze all day long, especially like last Sunday. I was traveling the first week of the NFL season, so I didn't really, but I did a rack of ribs. But this past weekend, man, I had some shrimp and I had some wings and I had stuff that I could just get into all day. So what are you guys grilling? At Rob Thompson, ESPN, at Jason Minix, tweet us. And then, of course, this weekend, take pictures of what you got on that grill and upload them to ESPNSA.com for your chance to win that $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
Now, Sunday, when the Cowboys Seahawks go off, it's just about the perfect time for me. A 3 o'clock kickoff for the Dallas Cowboys means I have all morning to get my prep done. And do you eat before the game, or is halftime your preferred for a Cowboy 3 o'clock kick?
Well, I mean, no, it's generally kind of post game.
So you eat it later,
dinner, but I'm grazing the whole time, so your dinner really isn't dinner, But I was thinking, since we are playing the Seahawks, I've got to do some bird. I was thinking doing a beer can chicken, but that's just so much food. And you do it's just two of us. So
what about
a
salmon?
beer can?
Why don't you throw use that Traeger and do some
some salmon
kind of
I mean, if I like seafood more, maybe. But again, I don't know, maybe. Or you know what I might do? I might do some Dungeness crab on the.
There you go. That's appropriate. There you go. Do something appropriate to the team that you're playing.
I'll do some crab and some wings. Or I was thinking maybe with a beer can chicken, instead of doing a chicken, doing a Cornish game hen, but doing it the same way. But then that might not be enough food.
I believe, and I don't have this on good authority, I think a Cornish game hen is a chicken.
Well, no, it is, but it's just smaller. It's just
why do they call it that? Well, why did they have just little? They have little chickens in Cornish or in Cornwall or Corn or wherever this corn place is.
I don't know, but it's only appropriate if you stuff it with stuffing. I don't know.
You need a little tiny can. A little tiny beer can, little Coronita kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, you get a Truly in there.
Yes, you got to go there. For me, I'm going to do two things on Saturday. The Aggies play late. I've got Puchamania going on during the day, so everything's going to be kind of going in between there. For the Aggie game, at least pregame, I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I'm not going to be able to do it on my brand new Traeger, I don't think, because I don't know how to use that thing yet. But and I don't have it all yet. I'm going to do fondue. I'm going to do a Swiss fondue on my grill. I've already got you need these 3 specific cheeses. There's a Gruyere, there's a Pimental, and there's a Uffenhofer, something I don't know. And then there's a Effern.
Dump that
and
Dan.
Whatever that might. I'm not sure. I might have. And then there's
but the key ingredient is German for half a peace sign.
Here's the crazy thing. The key ingredient is schnapps.
What?
Yeah, you put schnapps in your fondue. So not only do you get delicious cheesy goodness, but you get a little, and you can choose your schnapp flavor. I think I'm going to go with apple.
No,
and then
you said this is for an Aggie football game, right?
Yes.
Why does that sound like something you would make if you were going to watch a Harvard football game? I mean, you need to do your smoked queso for the Aggies. I mean,
this is essentially it.
This is playing to the Vanderbilt crowd. I mean, this is the hoity-toity.
Hey, you know us Aggies. We're pinky out types. You know us Aggies. We out there, man. You guys are sipping. There's the tea sippers. We're the wine drinkers. We're the we anyway.
Yeah.
No, I thought that it would be appropriate. And it is basically that. And I'm glad you brought up the smoked queso, because I'm doing it kind of the same way. I'm going to do it on the grill, but instead of like apples and, who cares about apples and grapes inside or whatever it might be, the frou-frou stuff for the stuff, I'm going straight sausage. I'm getting good kielbasa. I'm going to get some Spanish chorizo. I'm going to get some boudin. I'm going to go sausage in this cheese. So I'll make it a little bit more appropriate, though it'll be a classically Swiss-made fondue.
I have some black buck antelope sausage.
See, that's it. That's perfect. That's what I want.
Swing by. I'll sell it to you. Or, I mean, I'll give it to you.
And then on Sunday, I'm going to do some fajitas.
Nice.
If you head over to Tri-County.
About 3, kickoff at 3:25. Yeah.
Oh, I think oh, come on now. Who's got the trigger?
You're doing tomahawks when I come over.
No, well, yeah. You had your opportunity. I mean, we don't need to revisit a sore subject by any stretch.
It ain't a sore subject. No? I mean, you still owe us 3 steak dinners, and this is perfect.
I didn't say
sore. To do it because Pledge isn't here.
I didn't say no, that would be awful. Dan, you want a steak?
I'm vegan. I'm sorry. Vegan.
Vegan.
That's a whole nother thing.
No, that's a whole other thing. Something I it's like pops and buzzes. I don't even know what that word means. When we come back, we're going to put a bow on this show.
Hey, whoa. We got
to give away. No, we're not out yet. We're going to put a bow on the show. But before we go, we got to give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Take it over there to the Huebner locale. Get yourself $50 worth of the finest meats you're going to find anywhere in San Antonio. Texas Monthly has already told us that Tri-County Meat Market is the finest meat purveyor in San Antonio. They put it on their list, and they know of fine meat purveyors. So who are we going to pick today, Jason?
I'm looking at all the photos, man. A lot of people doing steaks, which looks good, but I got to say, man, Henry put up a picture of his kid smoking some looks like he's got some steaks on there and some sausage, and I don't know how old that kid is, probably 10 or 12, but I kind of like that. I think Henry gets the $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
Agree completely. Raising the boy right. Put him out there with a spatula and a spray bottle and put him to work. Let him mind the grill. Get him the right
kid,
way.
Go mind the grill. It's only 110 out here.
It is so easy to win. All you got to do this weekend, when you're grilling, grab your camera, take a picture of what you're grilling. We certainly do appreciate the recipe going along with it, because some of us might want to try that. It is so easy to upload. Go to ESPNSA.com, go to the win area. You'll see the Tri-County Meat Market thing. Upload the photo, and you could be just like Henry with a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. We'll do it again next Thursday, as we do every week. Grilling with the Blitz coming up. Let's look forward to some NBA. Put a bow on the show. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. You know you want the peace of mind a security system offers. You want to protect your family and home, of course. The security system at my house is from BSG. Video cameras, video doorbell, all the features, fantastic, easy to use, and they even have a waterproof sensor that you can put on your gate, so you'll know if someone has gone into your backyard, whether it's in the middle of the night or a worker during the day. It doesn't set off your alarms like if somebody comes through your door or breaks the window, but you do get a notification on your phone, and then you can check the video camera and see who was in your backyard and what they were doing. You can even put this sensor on your boat, your RV, on your shed. Just get that additional peace of mind. And a BSG system is as low as $29.99 a month, and that includes the smart home LCD panel installation and monitoring. Call now, get that gate sensor free. No payments for the first 6 months on select packages. Just go to bsgtexas.com/radio and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Again, bsgtexas.com/radio. BSG is a great local company. They've been in San Antonio over 20 years, and they're generally 20 to 30% less expensive than some of those national brands. In fact, if you're paying $50 or more a month for your security system, call BSG, 210-877-1222, 877-1222, or online, bsgtexas.com/radio.
We see you.
We hear you.
We denounce systemic racism.
We condemn violence, inequity, and injustice.
We pledge to use the power of our platform to spread facts and educate our communities.
We will be the change that we are calling for.
We are united for justice.
Do you have a retirement plan, no matter your age or how close you are to retirement? You need a plan to make sure you don't run out of money. Let me tell you about Pax Financial Group. They know you want to be financially prepared, and in order to do that, you need trusted guidance. At Pax, they have the experience and tools to crunch your retirement numbers and get the answers you need. If you have a plan, let Pax double-check all your numbers. At Pax, they believe everybody deserves to be hopeful about their future. They understand why it is important for families to protect their hard-earned money, and a key reason they're a trusted financial advisor for so many families over the past decade. Connect with Pax. The phone number, 210-881-5700. Let me try that again, 881-5700, or the website, paxfinancialgroup.com, paxfinancialgroup.com. Investment advisory services offered by Pax Financial Group, LLC.
At CDW, we get modern servers need to be
Flexible, scalable, and predictable. I predicted you'd say that.
Okay, what will I say next?
Probably something about server security.
Impressive and freaky. CDW can implement secure Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Gen 10 servers that improve speed and performance while reducing
costs. See, predictable.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it.
I predict a web address.
CDW.com/HPE.
I'm in your mind, man.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit. Because shed happens.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what covering your bases is in baseball, right? Making sure you have no holes in your defense. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. And you'll pay up to 50% less than big carriers and still use their same networks. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G. No contract, no mystery fees. Fully covering your bases for 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Hey, it's me, your cousin from Boston. I'm on the radio doing ads for Sam Adams. Now I'll be known as the Sam Adams guy instead of the dude who fell in the quarry. Sam Adams Boston Lager is crisp and refreshing, which is why I bring a six-pack wherever I go, except the movies anymore. Sam Adams from Boston with love. Here's the legal part. Watch how fast I can read. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Drink responsibly. Now, is that 30 seconds? Are we even close?
Northeast Independent School District is now hiring and training school bus drivers. Whether you're looking for a new job, you're a retiree, or you're retired military, come help drive students to succeed and apply at Northeast ISD Transportation today. No experience is necessary, and you will get paid while earning your CDL and learning how to drive a school bus. The Northeast ISD Transportation Department is ranked as one of the top 100 school bus fleets in America, and our drivers receive exceptional pay and benefits, including health, dental, vision, and retirement. If you're looking for work, if you're retired from the military, or you simply want to make a difference in our community, apply now with the Northeast ISD Transportation Department. Join our team and discover Northeast ISD by calling 210-356-9229. That's 210-356-9229. Or you can text Drive Bus to 797979. That's text Drive Bus to 797979.
It's been a hell of a year, San Antonio. I'm Chip Ingram, and my bars, the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant, have been closed more than they've been open, and I didn't see that coming. Fortunately, things are getting better. 281 North is open, and football is finally here. Our kitchen is open every day till 2 a.m., and we open for happy hour at 11 a.m. And you know, as our customers say, our food is pretty darn good. So this is me asking you to help a local guy and his staff get back on our feet. Come see us at the Brew Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 North and Redland Road.
Everybody's taking advantage of Diamonds Direct's 5-year zero-interest financing offer. In fact, our store hours have been extended to include this Sunday to accommodate the demand. But hurry, this offer ends September 30th. Pick any item, get the Diamonds Direct amazing value price, make no down payment, and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Whether your purchase is $3,000 or $30,000, you can do this. 5 years, zero interest on approved credit. And remember, we'll be open this Sunday afternoon for your convenience. Get details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Are you experiencing financial hardship and finding yourself pressured of owing the IRS back taxes? The experienced professionals at Allied Tax Relief can relieve you from IRS collections. Most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Marie, a pleased client of Allied Tax Relief.
My hours were cut in half at work, and the IRS was threatening to collect $27,000 I owed them. I contacted Allied Tax Relief for help. They were able to put a stop to the IRS collections. Once they negotiated my debt, I walked away paying only $700 to the IRS.
Especially during these times of need, Allied Tax Relief is able to negotiate various Fresh Start programs to relieve you of your IRS tax debt. Call Allied Tax Relief now, 800-299-2006 for a free consultation. Use this pandemic situation to your advantage. Now is the best time to get IRS forgiveness. Call today, 800-299-2006. This call could save you thousands. That's 800-299-2006. 800-299-2006.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On the go at ESPNSA.com. This is a siren song to the NFL plan. It is time for Prime Picks. Once again, this is an exhibition and a competition. Please wager at will. All right, last week, Jason, we turned things around, at least from the previous week. All of us, including James Pledger, went 8-2 on our picks. I think that's the best week I've ever had.
It might be the best week that you've ever had at 8-2 on the season. You are 10-9.
What's the best week you've ever had?
I think 9-1.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think your dog believes you. All right.
I don't think my dog believes me either. She's seeing shadows. What can
Bailey
you do?
is upset. All right, so if you're new to this, what we do is we pick pro and college games at the end of the season. Steak dinners are on the line. I am in the hole for at least 2 big old steaks.
3.
We're in week 2. 3. I said at least 2. Well, okay, 3. Fair enough.
3.
Let's dig right in. Now, we're going to get James Pledger's picks later, or is he going to pick on Monday? Is that what he's going to do?
No, he emailed. I have them.
Oh, okay. Well, let's dig right in. UTSA, Middle Tennessee, Friday night lights tomorrow night in the Dome. A rare night game in the Dome with UTSA. I'm liking them Roadrunners, Jason. I don't know what Middle Tennessee is. There was a late addition, but I do know what UTSA is. They're an offensive juggernaut.
They are. I am taking the Roadrunners. So is Pledge. I believe you are as well. They're playing good football, and quite honestly, Middle Tennessee State, I think they're winless on the year. They played some good teams, but they're about to be 0-3.
Good news for them. All right, we're all taking A&M, right? A&M Vanderbilt will be found right on our sister station, brother station, depending on how you look at it. KTSA will be broadcasting them Aggies tomorrow. Pregame early, kickoff at 6. Let's go. We're all agreeing on Texas, right?
Yeah, UT is going to destroy Texas Tech, who struggled with Houston Baptist University. I didn't know if they were playing a football team or a hospital, but they sent their fans into cardiac arrest with that one. That should have been an easy game for Texas Tech, and they couldn't get it done. So take UT
live
all day.
Catch Tech live, up or down, doesn't matter. We'll have them right here on ESPN San Antonio. Pregame getting it to 2 o'clock, kickoff a little after 2:30.
Army against Cincinnati is a sneaky good game. I'm not sure how good Army is. I'm quite honestly, how good is Cincinnati? But they are ranked number 18 in the country. I'm going to take Cincy, but I'm not going to be surprised if Army rolls out of there with a win.
From what I've seen of Cincy, I think they're going to win it. I'm taking Cincinnati as well, though. Again, I don't know what Army has done other than run the option better than Navy did up until last week. Louisville and Pittsburgh is going to be a tough one. It's in Pittsburgh. You know, Louisville and all that's going on in that city certainly is going to be weighing on the minds of those players. Pittsburgh actually hadn't looked that bad. I'm going to take Pittsburgh just because they're playing at home.
You're taking Pitt. I'm taking Louisville. And Pledge took Louisville as I look at his email.
UK and Auburn. I'm taking Auburn. Anybody not going with the Tigers? War Eagle?
Kentucky's ranked in the top 25, but does that mean? No, I'm taking Auburn. I saw the other night on TNT apparently a pretty good bet with Coach Cal and Charles Barkley on this game. But yeah, Auburn's going to win this game.
I like Auburn's quarterback. That Bo Nix kid, that is the quintessential SEC quarterback coming out of Auburn. Bo Nix could have played at a lot of schools, and everybody would have believed he was the perfect guy for them. I don't think Auburn's what they've been the last couple of years, but I do like Bo Nix. That guy's going to win some football games.
All right, on the NFL games, let's do Cowboys-Seahawks last. Let's start with the Monday night game, Kansas City and Baltimore. Woo, did
we see a chink in Kansas City's armor against the Chargers, or is that just a one-off and a kind of a hangover from the beginning of a championship fight again?
I want to say a one-off, but for whatever reason, the Chargers always seem to play Patrick Mahomes pretty well. I just look at Baltimore and I just think they're too good, and they're playing at home. Not that home field matters, but at least you don't have to travel. I'm taking the Ravens.
I'm going to take Kansas City just because it's one of those yardstick games, and I think true champs get themselves ready for that, even though I do believe Baltimore's probably a little bit better right now. I'm taking Kansas City close, but Pat Mahomes' arm being the difference, of course.
Pledge also takes the Kansas City Chiefs. How about LV versus NE? Las Vegas. Those are the Raiders, Rob, taking on the New England Patriots.
Man, I'm kind of a believer in Cam Newton there in New England. It's not pretty, but it was effective, and even Cam took responsibility for that last call. They played Seattle neck and neck. I like them, but I'm going to take New England. I think Cam Newton's found some place where he's comfortable. He's about to make some money. In Las Vegas, they're good, but I don't know what New Orleans is either.
Well, and that's part of it. I'm taking the Patriots. Pledge is taking the Patriots. I thought after what I heard you say after the Monday night game, you might have been all over John Gruden and the Raiders. By the way, did you see the Frank Caliendo video on Twitter of the celebration? I literally was watching that going, is this real? For a split second, I thought that was actually John Gruden. Now, we don't know how good New Orleans is. We know how good Green Bay is. On paper, this looks fantastic. Green Bay against New Orleans. I don't think it will be. I think Green Bay rolls in this game.
Completely agreed. Michael Thomas is going to help, but New Orleans has got some issues. Green Bay, ride the hot quarterback. I'll take him one more week. And that Aaron Jones out of UTEP, man, what an addition. They don't give him any wide receivers, but at least they got him a running back.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Green Bay across the board there. Do the Houston Texans get their first win? They take on the J.J. Watt brothers, Steelers, Texans.
All on the field together. That's crazy. Gosh, I wish they would, but no. Pittsburgh, that's the team we thought we'd see last year before the injuries. They're good. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
They are good, but man, they got to get Juju going. We're all going to take the Steelers, including Pledge, betting against his beloved Texans. Cowboys, Seahawks to wrap it up.
Man, I got to take the Seahawks. I have to be realistic here. And I just think that there's too much to ask to come back with all the injuries and everything that we've seen, to go on the road and deal with that. Even though there's no crowd, there's still being on the road. I'm taking Seattle. I don't think it's going to be by much, but it's going to be a high-scoring one.
You are taking Seattle. Pledge takes Seattle. I'm a homer. My wife is from Seattle. I am taking the Dallas Cowboys in this one. A few years ago, nobody gave the Cowboys a chance to go win in Seattle. We went to that game and took a beautiful picture of the Cowboys beating Seattle, that scoreboard that was supposed to be our Christmas card photo, but for some reason, they never got mailed out. I am taking the Dallas Cowboys.
It is a yardstick game, man. Whoever walks out of this, whether it's battered and beaten or triumphant in an easy win, really is going to feel good about themselves early in the season, because I think both realize that they're in the upper echelon, and whoever walks out of this and can stay healthy is going to be on a good run. Now, we didn't get into the game tonight. We do have a Battle of Florida, Jacksonville taking on Miami. Gardner Minshew seems to have ensconced himself. Are we going to see some Tua tonight, whether Fitz is playing well or not?
No, I really don't. Unless there's an injury, I think this is all about facial hair tonight, and Tua doesn't have that.
Who do you like?
I like Jacksonville. I think they're a good football team.
They're certainly having fun. I'm pulling for Gardner Minshew as well. Tony Romo, too. Hey, we're heading into the sunset. The Rangers are coming. We'll talk to you tomorrow. It's been the Blitz.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies in our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kilbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
Whether class is in school, at home, or a little bit of both, school goes on.
And Staples has everything you need to start the year right.
From lap desks to notebooks, noise-canceling headphones to UV sanitizers.
And all at amazing prices. This week, notebooks and rulers are just 25 cents each.
Now that's a back-to-school deal you don't want to miss. Shop in-store, order online, or pick up curbside. School on, save on at Staples.
Ends 9/26. Limit 30. Limits vary online while supplies last. Curbside available in most stores.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drivewise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Everybody's taking advantage of Diamonds Direct's 5-year zero-interest financing offer. In fact, our store hours have been extended to include this Sunday to accommodate the demand. But hurry, this offer ends September 30th. Pick any item. Get the Diamonds Direct amazing value price. Make no down payment and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Whether your purchase is $3,000 or $30,000, you can do this. 5 years, zero interest on approved credit. And remember, we'll be open this Sunday afternoon for your convenience. Get details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that